Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show. Weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead, hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this. And it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content now. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, we are back with another episode of the Roger Report Live. And of course, we're going to do another interesting episode, because those are the only type of episodes we do around these parts. We're going to look into what should be taken very, very seriously. But of course, if you've been looking, your eyes been open at all, you will see it's something that hasn't been taken all that serious. But, you know, it's no time like the present to change that. We are going to be looking at the fact that women became worthless because women became the prize. Yep, that's exactly what I said. I know it's hard for some people to catch right at the very beginning. You know, it might be a hard concept for some people to even figure out after a little while of thinking. But when it comes down to it, you know, women became the prize when they, excuse me, women became worthless when they became the prize. Okay. And we're going to get into it why. This is not an insult to women. I know a lot of people think this is going to be an insult to women, but it's not. We're going to talk about the real facts behind the situation. All right. But before we go too far into this, shout out to all the people who come through and give me views on a regular basis that make up the fam around here. Appreciate y'all. You know, y'all make the show what it is. Shout out to all the people who leave comments after the stream, because you never know when I'm gonna get a great idea based on the comment. So might get some interesting interaction. And of course, it helps with the algorithm. So appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to the people who hype me up every chance they get. I just ask that you do it at least once a week. But shout out to all the people who hype me up, every chance they get. Look out for a brother. Look out for a brother. I appreciate you. And shout out to the people who hit that like button. And y'all keep in mind, there's never a wrong time to do any of those things. So even if you get a stream that's from a while ago, make sure you do each and all those things, okay? Each and all those things. And shout out to the people who go above and beyond the call of duty. The people who throw a little something on the pot over here at the Roger Report Live. Can't make things, couldn't make things the same way without you. Appreciate you. And I'm going to give a special shout out to Usual Business. He is the sponsor of today's stream. Appreciate that, brother. He a doozy sometime, but I appreciate him, y'all. I definitely appreciate that, brother. Real talk. Okay. And glad to see a few people checking in with me this morning. It's always great that when you start the show, you see, like-minded brothers rocking with you. But y'all know how it goes. There can only be one. And I want to say shout out to the Highlander of today's stream. My main man has done it again. Tunnel Runner is in the building. Shout out to Tunnel Runner. He is the Highlander of today's stream. Appreciate you, brother. And that's real talk. Shout out to Bronk checking in right behind him. Glad to see you. Excuse me, folks. We got the RX at the cool table this morning. Great to see you as well. Inspired Truth Broadcast is in the building. Also, glad to have you. The Omniscient Shogun is at the cool table this morning. Good to have you, brother. Good to have you. All my hoes, the monetizers here. Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. Music Man 1982 is in the house. Glad to have you, brother. Glad to have you. Y'all, I'm going to talk about something that, as you hear it, you should understand, man, it don't get no realer than this. You know what? This it. And this ain't going to sound politically correct at all. Okay? Let's just get that out the way. This ain't going to sound politically correct at all, because it ain't. This ain't about politics. This about results. Okay? Let me throw it out there again. This ain't about politics. This about results. Now, if we gonna be real with ourselves, y'all, we gotta admit, okay? We have to admit that, black folks were pretty functional even after slavery had came to its a quote unquote official end, because you can still be a legal slave as long as you're convicted of a crime. It never changed that. But when slavery came to its quote unquote official end, black folks knew what to do. They got together, they made stuff happen. Some people argue that black people got together because they really didn't have a choice. Some people would understand, well, they had some kind of choice, but, they did what they had to do to make do with what they had. Okay? People face some pretty dire situations because slavery came to an end, but it's not like reparations came. It's not like people had places to go and people to see like that. I'm not saying everybody stayed with their slave master, but there was a brutal reality about how a lot of men talk to their family, or whatever kind of family it was at that time, and say, hey, we free. We can earn money now, but we ain't got no house. Okay, that's just the reality of it. It wasn't a car back then, but they ain't had no carriage or whatever. They didn't have no property at all. They barely had the clothes that was on their back, so they had to make some tough decisions that a lot of black people need to really respect what the quote-unquote ancestors did, because they basically made a deal maybe not with the devil himself, but people that believed in him heavily. I just say it like that. Maybe they didn't make a deal with the devil himself, but people who believed in him heavily. And these people had a working relationship where it was slave owner and slave. Now they had to go from, person to person. Yeah, that ain't gonna work smooth. That's not gonna just work smooth. And a lot of these brothers had to look, family, we gotta do what we gotta do for at least for now. Until things better. And then you had a whole lot of sharecropping going on. Okay. A whole lot of sharecropping going on. But the problem is the black man got to accept what the white man say that he sold the stuff for. Whatever it is whatever the crop was, you got to believe the white man's story on what he sold stuff for. Because you couldn't go out there and sell it. Okay? You couldn't go out there and sell it. Now, in reality, I'm going to say black folks and white folks in America, and shout out to all my people who don't live in America, but love and appreciate y'all too. We work together. Okay? Black women never really had a real time frame where they just wouldn't work, because as black men would do the work to keep black women out of society where she got beyond his protection, people came up with little laws and things to force black women to get out there and work. See, black men were cool with protecting his woman, his children. And when it came to the females, we have never desired collectively for women to work in America. Black men have never collectively desired that black women go to work, because black women would be exposed to society, and we didn't want them exposed to stuff that we couldn't protect them from. So we've never collectively wanted women to work. Not to this day have we ever collectively truly wanted women to work if we were with them. That's just the way it goes. That's as real as it gets. It is what it is. Okay? We've never collectively wanted that. Now, at the end of the day, black women have done what they wanted to do for the most part. But at this particular point, black women don't really want to work. Black women don't want to be stay-at-home wives for black men for the most part anyway. Okay? They do not mind being stay-at-home wives, but they don't really credit black men who actually provide them that. They don't seem very satisfied. And I'll say it like that. They don't seem very satisfied in being a stay-at-home wife for a black man. Now, this is the thing, y'all. Over time, men's and women's relationship, have changed a little bit here and there. You get a little bit here and there, then another little bit here and there, and another little bit here and there. And now we got it at the point where women, let's be realistic, y'all, have become the prize. I'm not talking about what it is. I'm talking about what is the perception of the average person. Okay? And the perception of the average person is the woman is the prize. Now, people have a right to feel that way. We are not going to pretend that people don't have a right to feel the way they want to feel. Okay? If you believe you're a prize as a woman, that is your business. You have every right to think about yourself the way you want to think about yourself. Other people can't really control that. The only thing we can do is respond to the feelings that you have when we face them. Now, I have dealt with many a woman. I don't even say dealt with, for real. I've come across many a woman that thought she was the prize. All right? And it's beautiful to see black women have some level of high self-esteem. And that's a beautiful thing to see. I'm not going to act like that's a bad thing, that black women will have a decent level of self-esteem. That's a good thing. But when it comes down to it, and we're going to be real about it, y'all, and I'm dropping the link in the chat, y'all. I'm still having the same problem from last week. So Hopefully y'all can see it in there. If y'all can't see it, y'all let me know. But we still having issues with dropping the links. It's gonna be all right though. We're gonna work through it, y'all. We're gonna work through it. Okay. So y'all just let me know if anybody can let me know if they can even see it right now, that would be cool. All right. Now, women, have saw themselves as the prize. I ain't mad at no woman for seeing what she see. She got a right to see herself the way she wants to see it, to see herself. But there is a realistic thing that has happened. Women have become worthless because women, when it comes down to it, they have become the prize. Now, am I saying women should never see themselves as the prize? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what realistically happens when women see themselves as a prize. Well, let's look about this. Really look at this. Black folks used to be able to get married a lot better and actually be able to create families and do a lot of things, even through different types of obstacles, when we at least saw value in what the men did. But as we can now see, the more women who don't believe what a man does has value, the less relationships work in the Black community. Now, Black women will say sometimes like, we are the most loyal women to our men. And a lot of times men let that go without anybody saying anything against it, which is a complete lie. Okay? It's a complete lie. Now, I'm not saying the women who said it knew they were lying. And I'm pretty sure some of them knew, because lying is very easy when it comes to women. Women lie on such a regular basis. The lies don't even register them as lies anymore. They say it like it's the truth, And if you say something against it, they'll do all kinds of stuff to try to act like it is the truth. Now, what do I mean? Well, let's be realistic, y'all. If Black women were loyal to Black men, we have a high marriage rate. To say I date outside my race the least is not saying that you're loyal. You're just talking about a circumstance that is also beyond your control. Because you only can date outside your race if other people let you. Okay, it does take an effort to date outside your race. And when you do dating is effort on both parties. Okay? Is effort on both parties. So how do we know somebody shows any level of loyalty? You gotta at least get married. All right. You know how I know my dad was willing to be loyal to my mom? Marriage. You know how how I knew my mom was willing to be some kind of level of loyalty to my dad? Marriage. They was married. That's it. If you don't make a commitment, we don't know it's real. And that's just how the game goes. Now, a lot of women don't want to accept this reality because for them, it's telling. All right? Because they can't make a man marry them. They can hit you with all this queen stuff. I'm a princess. I'm a this, I'm a that. But they can't hit you with they can't do this on their own. They can't say, this man takes care of me. No. Some men got to agree to that. That's just what it is in America and a lot of other places in the world. A man has to agree that she is worthy of being taken care of. And when you're not married, you can explain it how you want to as a woman. But the only thing I know as a man is that men were unwilling to agree to take care of you. Now, there's a lot of women who will do certain things to try to create some level of success and brag about this and brag about that. But let's look at this stuff, y'all. When a woman sees herself as successful as, I'm talking monetary wise, she'll look at things like what a man does. If a man gets a car, it's an accomplishment because he had to pay for it. If a woman, she'll use a car like that. If a man gets a house, it's a accomplishment because he had to pay for it. So, she'll brag on having something like that. She'll brag about all these different things she does as if she were trying to provide for a woman. Okay? And then she'll look at men and say, because I did this on my own, I don't need no man. Well, if you don't need a man, it's kind of your business at the end of the day. Okay? When you brag about the fact that you don't need a man, okay, interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Interesting. You bragging on the fact that you don't need no man. Now, how is that a brag? I don't get it. But when it comes down to it, we as men, we got to look at it like, hey, okay, and this woman has gained this certain level of quote unquote success, because, getting things don't really make women successful. Having a good man that's willing to love her and be there for her, that's how we find success in women. It's not about what type of job she got. It's not about what type of income she has. It's about, has she been able to put a family together? What man married her and said she's worth me losing my life to protect her? What children is she able to have? And how is she going to love and guide them? Okay. Now, understandably, there's exceptions to rules, because if you medically can't have children, men ain't going to hold that against a woman that she medically couldn't have children. But unless that was your situation, how come you're not married with a family? And I don't like to be fake around here. I done said plenty of times, if somebody come to your home, if the lights is off, they're going to look at the man like, what is he doing that he ain't keeping the lights on? Now, if you walk in that place and the house is dirty, they're going to look at that woman like, what on earth is she doing that she can't keep the house clean? And a lot of women don't like this, but they want to measure men the same way. A lot of women say, well, you know what? I can do this for myself. I can do that for myself. But I need a man who can do more than I can. Why? Because she's still measuring the man in that same way. Now, granted, there's some backwards women in the Black community where they'll try to make a man be something. They like going after men who have less than them because they see it as a sign of control. But if I make $80,000 a year and he only make, $40,000 a year, I can run the house. A lot of women do take that attitude on. Now, let's be realistic about that attitude. Is that an attitude of loyalty? Or is that an attitude of control? See, I'm gonna say this to men. The reason you have so many more women saying stuff about control right now is because, women do project and they do want control. They want to control you, nigga. They see you as a slave too, so they want to control you. They believe slaves should be controlled. And they believe they're above you because they are a Black woman and not a Black man. So they want to control a Black man. Y'all know Black women love listening to stuff that white people say. All right. Now, I ain't going to say they just love what a white woman says. They really love what a white man says. They love it to death. And they always want to look good in front of that white man. Therefore, to see you as a slave, she wants to make that white man comfortable. Look, Zaddy, I know this nigga ain't nothing either. I know you know it, but I know it too. And this is the thing. The more Black women get, and they tell on themselves, the more Black women get, the more they don't want to listen to a Black man. Because she's, quote unquote, the prize. Now, let's be realistic about this stuff, y'all. You meet a woman at any particular point in your life, and she sees herself as a prize. How useful is she going to be to you? Let's be real about this. Let's ask a real, honest question. If a woman sees herself as a prize, and you're a black man, how much is she willing to help you? Because I'm going to tell you right now, y'all, ain't it funny how even women who are in a greater position than men, from a financial standpoint, they swear they the best thing for brothers, and most brothers who deal with them can't seem to get ahead? Y'all ever find that funny? You'll see a woman who's a lawyer. She could be a flat out lawyer, doing pretty well for herself. Then you find out about her man. Her man ain't got no job. The man wanted to be a drug kingpin. The man want to do anything but earn an honest living. And she already a lawyer. You'll hear dudes all the time in positions that ain't coming close to what that lawyer is. Oh yeah, man, I got my girl. My girl's a lawyer. He bragging on this girl. Is she doing anything to help him be great in life? Absolutely not. Okay. So you didn't got in a position you earn a lot of money. Heck, she go into entertainment. Entertainment pays a lot of money. Does she help her man become something? When the last time y'all say a woman who made it in entertainment get with a man, and then all of a sudden he's a a real estate guru? You don't see that, do you? I am not saying women can't become successful. Obviously, they can if they want to. They're willing to put the work in. They can earn success like other people can earn success. It's just they're not going to be seen as successful the way a man is going to be seen as successful. But at the end of the day, even if she does that, as a man, what difference does it make to you? Women would tell you all day long, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and my man got to have this and my man got to have that. And what do they want when they become successful? They just want somebody more successful than them. It is what it is. It's a very rare woman that's going to achieve any level of success and then try to bring her man up with her. At least amongst black folk, I'm going to say that. So people would say, well, you know what? Don't you want a woman who's successful? Well, if she called her success on her own, what difference does it make to me? If a woman is able to achieve success and she believes that she is not supposed to share it with her man, then what difference would it make to me that she became successful? What difference does it make? Because to me, she's still worthless. We got a lot of women who think they're the prize. And how do women deal with that concept? They say, I'm the prize, so people should do stuff for me. What prize do you have to halfway kill yourself to pay for? It's not a prize. See, the thing about a prize is somebody will give you something of value. Okay? Even if it was too big of a something for you to handle yourself, you can turn around and get value because of that prize. See, when you go into a game show, let's say you win a car. Okay, you win a car. All right, but you win some expensive car that you don't even believe you can pay for. Let's say they give you a Range Rover. You didn't mess around, won a Range Rover. Okay, that's a prize. Now, you might say, well, a Range Rover is too much for me right now. I don't have a garage to put it in. Maybe you don't even have your own place at that time, whatever the case is. But you know what you can do with that Range Rover? You can take that Range Rover and you can sell it off and get value for it. You may not get 100% value for it, but somebody may say, hey, maybe you got $100,000 Range Rover. I'm just throwing numbers out there. You got $100,000 Range Rover, but you could turn that brand new Range Rover and say, hey, you know what? If somebody give me 70, you can have it. So even though you weren't ready to take on that quote unquote prize, you could turn it in for value still. Now you can get $70,000 off a $100,000 Range Rover. Somebody come through, they get the big discount because they was more prepared than you were at the time. It is what it is. That's a prize. You know? And this is a real thing, y'all. Back in the day, everybody knew the man was the prize. What did women do? They positioned themselves so a man would choose them. A lot of black women are so confused at this point that they say, if I get with a man, I'm afraid I'm going to lose my identity in the marriage. Y'all think about that for a second. I'm afraid I will lose my identity in the marriage. Is that not the purpose of the marriage? See, you might have been Miss Johnson when you got married. Okay? Part of the point of the marriage is for you to lose Miss Johnson and become, let's say, Mrs. Lafayette. Okay? The goal is to lose Miss Johnson so you can become Mrs. Lafayette. That's part of the purpose. But you got women talking about they don't want to lose themselves in a marriage. How you lose yourself in a marriage it's only two people? Just you and the husband. Well, I'm going to say for any woman who's not smart enough to know who she is in her marriage, she doesn't deserve to be married. Let's be real about that. She doesn't deserve to be married. She's a problem. Keep the problem to yourself. Don't bring it on the men. Keep that problem to yourself. Now, we got some people who say, well, I don't want to be looked at as, and we just using their name for example, Mrs. Lafayette. I don't want to be seen as Mrs. Lafayette. I want to be seen as Miss Johnson. Okay, and stay away from guys. That's all you got to do. See, it ain't hard in America. In America, they allow you to provide for yourself. In this country, you can go to some type of college or trade school if you like. You become 18 years old, you graduate high school, or even get your GED. You ain't even got to graduate high school. Just get your GED. Same thing. You can go off somewhere and you can become a college student or some type of trade student. Get out there, get you a trade. And you can learn to do what you got to do to earn money and take care of yourself. They're not going to stop you from taking care of yourself in America. That ain't the game over here. You can take care of yourself. No man needs to take care of you. So you can take care of yourself. But see, if you want somebody else to do it, or you want somebody else to help you with it, then you're going to have to bow down. It just is what it is. But see, black women believe they're a prize, so therefore, when it comes to black men, they don't have to bow down. And it's crazy how this only works for black men. They don't believe this about other men. See, when black women deal with black men, they have no issue being a helpmeet. I'm going to say that to y'all again. See, when black women deal with non-black men, they deal with a white man, they deal with a Mexican man, I just say Hispanic man, Native American man even, if they deal with anybody in their mind that is not black, they have no issue being a helpmeet to him. When they deal with black men, they have been trained to never be a helpmeet to the black man. They're not trying to help him do squat. Now, we talking about in general. I know somebody going to say, well, my great uncle such and such, His wife helped him. My great auntie such and such, she's always been good at her. We talking about on mass level, y'all. And on mass level, black women believe they are the prize. So they offer no help to a man. Now, a lot of people, they even claim to be Christian. You know, why was a woman created again? To be a what? A help what? I'm just saying what y'all supposedly saying in y'all head. She was created to be a help what? A help me. Okay. Some people say a help mate. But what's she supposed to do? She's supposed to help who? She's supposed to help the man. Now let's keep it real, y'all. A lot of black women don't want to help no black man. Now, is this just restricted to Christians? No. It's all kind of women that don't want to help a black man. Okay, America's full of full of black women that don't want to help a black man. And at the end of the day, you know, this is their choice. They have a right in this country. So how can the woman be a prize? And it makes any level of sense to date them in any kind of way whatsoever. See, when we get down to it, some people want something for nothing. And that's black women. They want to get something out of black men while giving nothing at the same time. Now, some of y'all will look at this from a religious angle. I ain't saying you got to look at it from a religious angle. You can look at it from a non-religious angle. The begging on the internet, you know, some people say is out of control. And I'm going to say, I understand why people say stuff like that, but I ain't never knew of a time when black women didn't beg. Before the internet was in people's homes on a regular basis, black women been begging. Okay. I remember decades ago when black women was begging. Black women begging ain't no new thing to me. Okay. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying this to make fun of them. I'm just saying it because it's the truth. I don't remember a time when black women didn't beg. Now, maybe they begged for better reasons back in the day than they are right now. But I don't remember them not begging. Okay. I remember a lot of stuff was given to black women for different reasons. Okay. You know, I can't tell you why everything started, but I remember when I was a kid, you know, they had these food giveaways and black women could come there so they can get food for themselves and their children. Okay. I remember churches would put stuff together so black women can get, you know, food for themselves and their children. I remember a lot of people making a lot of efforts for black women and their children. The guys, well, we're going to help the community because we're going to help these women and their children. And that stuff happened for years and years and years. It still happens to this day. Now, are we making progress because of this? Then that's a whole different thing. If I got to present an argument that we making progress because they've been helped, that's a whole different story right there. But see, the thing is, black women have started to see themselves regularly as the prize. Now, what happened because black women saw themselves as the prize? The begging just became bigger and quicker. You know, black women used to be with you. Y'all used to be together for a little bit. And what used to happen? Man would do stuff for her, you know. Even though truly black women never had been in that situation where they just weren't working. Because even when black men could afford to put them in position where they didn't have to work, a lot of times black women would want to work anyway. All right. She want to have her own money so she can call her own shots. Guys didn't see it, her doing it the way we see it now. It's not as hidden now. She want to work because she want to be able to control her own shots. And sometimes it was a societal thing because a man would try to keep her from working. And then, like we've dug into places where laws were put in place to make sure black women would have to come out and work. See, black men been trying to protect the black women. Black women ain't been as cooperative to us trying to protect them. And, it is what it is on that note. Black women want to be stay-at-home wives, just not for black men. That's all. Because she just don't feel like a man who happens to be black should be able to tell her to do anything. And she sees herself as the prize. And how does that translate with the black couple? That means the black man is supposed to do everything for her. He's supposed to put her in a position where she shouldn't have to work. She should have all kinds of money to spend. She should not have to cook. She should not have to clean. And she should not have to raise children. A man should make enough money that all that can be done on his dime without any kind of level of problem whatsoever. And whenever she wants, money to just throw away, he's supposed to be able to provide it. Because she's supposed to be living like a queen. That's her version of being a queen to a black man. Her version is her man is supposed to serve her at all times. Okay? Her man is supposed to make sure she good no matter what. And there's nothing she should ever have to concern herself about. Because she's a prize. How does that work for black men? Because I done met plenty of women, y'all. I definitely understand women think they're the prize. And my thing is, okay, so where's your value then? Because the moment a woman thinks she's a prize, she basically becomes worthless. Because she is the prize, she ain't gonna help me. And I'm cool with that. See, I've accepted black women gonna operate like black women. A lot of us have not really ready to get to that point, but I've accepted that. Black women gonna act like black women. So when it comes down to it, if she's the prize, what do I pretty much know? She ain't gonna help me with squat. That's what I pretty much know. Okay? Once she establishes in her mind that she is the prize, there is no helping me. Now, I can cry about it. You know what I'm saying? I can go to the car and I can cry about this if I want to. I just don't see no point in it because I don't like to do a bunch of stuff that ain't going to help me do anything. Okay? So, yeah, I could go cry about it in the car. I just don't. All right? I can have a thought process that women are just looking to help me, but I already know that's not the truth, so I don't even worry about it. Okay? I don't understand a woman who thinks she's a prize, even though I got to continue to provide for her. But a lot of women have to take that attitude on. I just don't sweat it. I don't care. I'm not telling any woman she can't be the prize. But if you got it, my thing is handle it, because I don't need to handle it for you. And as a black man, even though a lot of information and dogma, you could say, or propaganda has pushed black men to say, hey, it's our fault if these women are not okay. My thing is, that's just not a real thing. It's not a real concept. I just don't see the world that way. I know the America I live in. Everything I can do as a man, they can do. I can get a job, they can get a job. I can get a trade, they can get a trade. I can start a business, they can start a business. I can go to the military, they can go to the military. Okay? And if I don't have what I believe I should have, I can work to get it. Which means what? If they don't have what they believe they should have, they can work to get it. So what you need me for? Okay? You said you don't need no man. Cool. Well, don't trip when I don't help you. And that's what we have a lot of nowadays. We have a lot of women who say they don't need a man, but they still trip when a man doesn't help them. But I'm going to slow down real quick, and I'm going to turn it over to my first guest. Prize my, I'm going to say behind. He didn't say behind, but I'm going to say that. Prize my behind is at the mic. Do your thing, my brother. How are you?
Hey, Happy sunrise.
Happy sunrise, brother.
I woke up and it's the same BS. You on BS again, Roger?
I'm on BS. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna hear this explanation.
You know, you can interact with me doing my speech. That's okay.
Well, I'm trying to hear how I'm on some BS because I'm putting up this great classical stuff here, but I'm on BS. What are we talking? I'm trying to see where you coming from.
Why is the sole purpose of women?
What's the sole purpose? Is that what you said?
Yes, what is the sole purpose of a woman?
Well, I mean, it depends on what your viewpoint is. If I'm assuming you're talking about from a biblical perspective, and I'm not gonna say soul, but well, I guess you could wrap that up into a sole purpose. But the purpose that they were created was to be a helpmate.
Okay. Did you know that Adam was a superhuman?
I mean, basically, yeah.
So God created a superhuman called Adam and still decided that as a superhuman, you still need help. I'm going to create this creature to help you.
I would disagree with that.
Okay.
The only way out, the reason I'm saying I'm gonna disagree with that because God never said that he needed that woman. He did say it's not good for man to be alone, but he never said he needed Eve. To my understanding, Adam had everything he needed.
Yes,
not one thing was missing.
Okay, but help me. Imagine being Superman and God still decide to create Wonder Woman for you. That's because he knows that you're gonna need Wonder Woman at some point. So any woman who's living by herself past a certain age, she's a sinner. She's not even fulfilling her basic role. See what I mean? And she's the prize. Get out of here. If she's not helping you, what's the purpose of her existing? If she's not helping you, making your life easier, why is she even here? Woman, you're not helping me. Why do you even exist? Your existence is bucking the godly system. If you exist and you can't serve me, you don't want to help me, you shouldn't exist. That's it.
Well, that's definitely a perspective. I didn't hear everything you said because my phone rang, but I didn't hear everything you said. But I think I got what you're saying. Your basic position is they don't really need to exist if they're not helping. Okay, and I can understand how anybody could come to that conclusion if you personally accept that their job was to be a helpmate. Now, I'm gonna say, at the end of the day, they still can be that. But we do live in a country where they don't have to be that. So if you don't have to be a helpmate and you can go out and create your own life and your own situation, then you shouldn't be asking anything from men. Because if you forego, what women can do that men cannot for the most part, because men can't get no husband who will argue to lay their life down for them. Now, I know some people may be facetious or something. They say, what about gay men? Well, I don't know how that works between them two. I really don't know. I'm gonna sit down one day and ask a gay couple, some men, how do they figure that out? Who goes to die for who and all that? How do they figure that out? But I mean, outside of gay folks, when we talking about straight people, at the end of the day, a straight man can't go get no husband who finna take care of him. So at the end of the day, we got to come to some real understandings about things. And if a woman can't be a help to a man, I just don't understand why the man should be bothered with helping her. She can get her own job. She can get her own business. She can get her own, She can get her own degree. She can get her own everything. There's nothing you can get as a man for the most part that she can't just go get for herself. So for me, if you don't agree to be under some man's leadership, I don't see why a man should be worried about helping you. I don't see it. But that's happens when a woman becomes the prize. When whatever goes on in her mind that makes her the prize, she believes that I'm supposed to help her because she's the prize. And to me, that's just not how prizes work. Prize is the thing that's supposed to help me. If you give me a brand new car, I can get in that car and drive it if it's a prize. But you don't give me no prize and say, here go a car, pay $100,000 on it and you'll never get to drive it. That's not how a prize works. You know? Now, I get it. A lot men, we want to show women respect, and you know, we do things that don't make a lot of sense because we're trying to show women some certain level of high regard. You know, we got this thing that we say, you know, behind every good man is a great woman and all that type of stuff. No, I mean, that could be true. I'll say it's true for a lot of the times, but just because you married does not mean your wife is helping you. And that's something that I've had to face is a reality because of Black people right here in America. You can do a great job. That does not mean your wife is helping. She should be. But I know that there's Black men who do stuff in spite of their wife. And there will be no help when it comes to her. But she wants to be viewed as a prize. You know? And I'm not saying it's bad for Black men to put wives on pedestals and things like this and show them off and all that type of stuff. There's nothing wrong with making your woman feel special. But the moment she thinks she's the prize, where's the value at that point? Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen a woman who says she's the prize that made a good wife?
Nope.
And you probably gonna die, and that's never gonna change. Now, again, I ain't mad at nothing a woman can do, you know? And women, yo, they get opportunities that men won't necessarily get or won't necessarily get a fair shake of. That's just how the game goes. You can cry about it, or you can just keep living your life. So I see women offered all kinds of avenues and things. Now, if they don't take those avenues and create something for themselves where they don't have to beg men anymore, I just look at it, that's their own fault. You know? Heck, I mean, even on social media, you know, and I'm not saying to be funny, I'm just saying this because it's true. A woman can get on social media and get a bunch of subscribers simply because she's a woman. Now, I'm not saying that's going to make her 100% successful or anything like that, but people can just see it's a woman and they'll subscribe. And don't let her be an attractive woman. They'll really subscribe. Now, that won't make her successful necessarily, but it gives her an opportunity to put content out to people that's already ready to see what she got, see what she's talking about, or look for whatever she wants to present. It just is what it is. So my thing is, I don't feel bad for a woman who won't go out and get it. A woman can just simply bake cakes. Don't let her be attractive. People gonna go and shop with her just because she look good. They're gonna at least buy something to see what it's like. Okay, they might at least come by and smell something, see if they even want to take a chance on buying something just because she's an attractive woman. Again, not something I'm gonna get mad about because I accept real life is real life. But who you mad at? Okay, why you upset that people ain't around? Why you ain't upset that people ain't helping you? You get a lot of stuff just because you a woman. And the more attractive you are, you know, the potential is just that much bigger. So what's the point? Okay. At the end of the day, she good. But if we're realistic, once she accepts that she's a prize, as a Black man, she'll pretty much be worthless. Now, should that be the case? No, it shouldn't be the case. But that is reality. Yeah, I'm not hearing you, brother. I thought you were trying to say something. I ain't hear you though.
No. Don't mind me.
Okay. All right. So my thing is, there's a lot of women out there who do believe they're prized. And there's a lot of men who won't say the truth to women. Yes, as soon as you became a prize, you became worthless to me. Because I can't use no woman who's so caught up in her own success that she can't see a reason to help me. I can't use a woman like that. Okay? Ain't really much I can do with her. And that's just real talk. So I don't look for women who believe they're the prize. I look for women who believe a man is a prize and she's willing to do what it takes to get a man to be willing to provide for her. That's what I look for. Okay? Some people may think that that's wrong, but I'm going to keep it real. I look for women who think they can add value to me, not the other way around. Okay? If she believes she can add value to me, we got something to work with. If she believes she can't, we ain't got nothing to work with. Now, is that me saying she got to have this kind of job or that kind of job or this kind of business or that? I don't know. I don't care, because a woman could come with nothing and become everything. That's the uniqueness of a woman. She can come literally with nothing and become everything for a man. What do you really need a woman to know how to do when she gets to you? What men need is just a woman that's willing. As long as you got a woman that's willing, you got something to work with. But when women say they the prize, I don't see them willing to do too much of anything. Okay? It's that simple. Shout out to Jerome Payne. He said they also believe they queens too. Now, Jerome Payne is saying this with that laughing emoji. But let's keep it real. If you think you're a queen, you believe you're the prize. Let's think about this. From an American context, if a woman says, I'm a queen, that means she thinks she's a prize. Ain't no getting around that.
The ashes?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that they say which will give you the idea that they believe that they the prize. Because it ain't just queen. Some of them going to say princess, depending upon how young they are or how old they are. If it ain't too old, they going to say, I'm a princess. Some people going to swear that they are princess because of how they was raised. Some people have an idea that because of who their daddy is, that they're a princess. All these women think that they're the prize. And at the end of the day, from an American context, because there's real kings and queens out there, from an American context, when this stuff is said, this is a woman saying to you up front, you need to be willing to serve me in ways that I will never be willing to serve you in. And you need to make sure I don't need to do anything in life. Because for the most part, what you do not have is black women who are worthy of being wives talking about they the prize. That's very much something that comes from a single black woman. Now, how you a prize and won't no man marry you? Y'all, and y'all, I do get is women that'll swear that it was some man who wanted to marry them. And usually they will say it was 3 guys. Because women repeat a lot of stuff, y'all. I heard one woman say 3 men, tried to marry me, and then the rest of them just start repeating it. I don't want to hear about the theory of the man who liked you so much that he wanted to marry you. I want to hear about the man that you married. Telling me that some man liked you enough to marry you that did marry you, I don't believe that. But see, we're so quick to accept any nonsense that women will tell us, and we don't dig into nothing. Okay, so if he was willing to marry you, why didn't you marry him? Now, because if you saying that he's somebody worth mentioning, why wouldn't you marry this somebody worth mentioning? That don't make no sense. Who don't marry winners? Let's be real about this, y'all. When you see a person as a winner, you want to get up with them if they want to get with you. That's just how it goes. All right. You know, when that's why famous people have no problem getting new people, because they got people already waiting. You know, there's always somebody waiting because they famous already. But you ain't got to be famous. If they think you somebody in a closed off situation, that's why even on a college campus, okay, you got folks walking around. If somebody accepts this particular dude as the man, okay, for whatever his thing is, he gonna always have people in wait. You know, he might be the football player. He gonna have folks in wait. He might be the basketball player. He gonna have folks in wait. Okay. He might be somebody who people believe is gonna be the head engineer wherever they're gonna work. He gonna have folks in wait. There's always somebody waiting on a person that they believe is gonna make it and gonna be a big deal in life. Them people don't have issues like that. Now they may have issues with people who want to be around them while they go through the process to become who they're going to become, which is something that Black women do. They'll watch you on the process of becoming something, but they don't want to mess with you until you've already became who you became. You know, one of the dumbest things they do, you know, and a lot of them will do that because they think they're prized too. I'm working hard to get into the NFL, but I'm not working hard to be me, and I'm a prize. You know, when you have brains like that going together, it just don't work out. You got a man working hard to get into the NFL, and then you got a woman who's, well, you know, I'm worthy of being an NFL wife because I'm me. Meaning I was born. Okay. Somebody taught me how to wash my behind, and somebody taught me how to do my toes and my hands. Okay. I can manicure myself, pedicure myself. So therefore I should be, you know, the wife of an NFL player. Even though the guy got to do all his work to get into the NFL that she does not respect. Okay. Same thing about a guy who makes it into the NBA. And we even got women who say, I don't want to mess with him because I think he'll be a mid NBA player and won't necessarily be a star. You got to think you're the prize to start making choices like that. You really must think you're a prize. In reality, Black women do believe that they're the prize. And that's why Black men should be doing everything they can to kill themselves in order to be of service to them. And I'm going to say that's what holds, you know, if people talk about the Black community as a whole, that's one of the main things holding Black people as a whole back. We got a bunch of women that think they're the prize. We got a bunch of men who don't see themselves as the prize, even though they're willing to go out, work, you know, 8 to 16 hours a day. Let's be real about it. Black men are willing to work 8 to 16 hours a day. It's a lot of Black men who took jobs. They told them straight up, man, all we got is 12-hour shifts. And what did he say about that? Oh, that's just what I'm looking for. I need some money. That's just what I was looking for. You know?
Y'all need those, man.
You know? But see, you tell a woman something like that, it turned into a conversation. Look, all we got is 12-hour shifts here. 12? What about the 8-hour shifts? Is this something I can do for 8 hours? Man, we got 12-hour shifts. But 12 is too long. I don't want to do 12. What y'all got this 8? Ma'am, the job that's available is a 12-hour shift. Well, can I do 8 hours of the shift and just come back the next day and do the rest? No, women will have real conversations about a shift that don't exist.
When they do that, that's them trying to bend reality to their will.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And they want to have a whole conversation with you about this shift that does not exist. Now, what do men do? We got a 12-hour shift. A man gonna say, okay, cool, that's what I'm looking for. Or he gonna say, that's too much, I'm not interested. And that's it. Yeah, that's too long for me, man. I got to do such and such already. You know? So he just don't take the job. But let's keep it real, y'all. Because men are so willing to do so much to take care of themselves and their woman and any children they may have, you hit a man with a 12-hour shift, he's just going to say okay for the most part. Now, it's not like he went looking for a 12-hour shift. But you don't ever see a problem with companies trying to fill a 12-hour shift. And that's because of men. You know, we don't see ourselves as the prize, but we do all this stuff to show we the prize. You know, you'll have men complaining to a woman, I done been at work for 12 hours and you ain't cleaned nothing. Why is he saying that? Because he think he's supposed to get something. You know, he don't see himself as the prize, but he at least see he's supposed to get something. Like, I did go to work for 12 hours to make sure all this stuff can be paid for. You know, I do overtime regularly just to make sure you can get your hair done and your nails done and all that little stuff. So he starts to feel like he should get something out the deal. And there's nothing wrong with that, because he should get something out the deal. And truth be told, Black men's expectations are very, very low when it comes down to it. We should be getting far more than what we are getting. But the thing is, we're working with women who believe they the prize. And we've been told women were the prize. So we buying into the nonsense too. You know, a lot of men are shocked. Let's just keep it real. A lot of men are shocked at the idea that a man wants a woman to help. We got a lot of people on some sucker stuff right now. I'm not saying everybody on some sucker stuff, but there are a lot of men right now on some straight sucker stuff who gonna say, I'm gonna pay all the bills and my woman don't have to do nothing. Why? That's all I'm like. That's all I'm gonna ask. Bro, how come your woman don't have to do nothing? Nah, man, I'm a man. I'm a real man. My woman don't have to do squat. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's cool. I ain't even tripping about the fact that you take care of everything. But why do you take care of everything? Because even some of the men who are in position to do it, they do it because they think they owe the woman. Now, I'm not saying a man can't take care of everything. You know, because in reality, most men don't want his woman working because she's going to get exposure to the world that, you know, puts him in a position where he can't protect her from it 24 hours a day if she voluntarily goes out there unnecessarily. But at the end of the day, you know, you do that for you. You do that to establish the family you want. You don't do it because it's owed to her. But a lot of us, we take it like we owe it to her. If I don't take care of every single bill, I failed. Why your woman got a job then? That's my thing. Why is your woman earning money, but you got to pay all the bills? That don't make sense to me. If you're going to have a job, you're going to be working to help me. See, I know a woman's position. Her position is to help me. And I know that offends people. Y'all, go around a woman and tell her that her job is to help me. Heck, go to church and say it. Y'all gonna see some very interesting reactions.
They gonna say,
yeah, bro. I don't know what happened, but you went in and out. I don't think it was me though. I don't think it was me. Now I'm gonna say shout out to Kevin Murray. He said Black men have to take care of everything. Well, see, this is the thing. I'm not saying it's just bad that we got to do so much. This is not about saying we got to do so much. The thing is, how do you treat a woman, and what do you tell her position is? Most Black men are afraid to tell women that she has a job, and your job is to help me get to where I'm trying to go. That's where we mess up. Okay? The one thing a woman should never, ever have when she's with you is nothing to do. She's supposed to be helping you. You always can use the help doing something. Now, she can be help me as far as cooking and cleaning. She can do that. She can iron clothes. I'm a person, personally, I hate to iron. Okay, I hate ironing clothes. I just don't like the process of ironing clothes. So having a woman who's willing to iron my clothes is a good thing to me. Okay, I don't like cooking. Having a woman who will cook for me, good thing to me. You know, now I do come from a family with a bunch of people who can cook, so your culinary skills got to be you got to be decent now. Now I work with a woman. I ain't saying she got to be no master chef. I work with her, but you know, just be decent is all I'm gonna ask now. Just be decent. All right. Now, yo, if a woman wants to work a job, well, if we got small children, that's just out the window. So number one, she got to already agree that she ain't gonna work when we got small children. Now maybe after everybody get into kindergarten or kindergarten or grammar school or whatever, then maybe she can work if that makes sense. If we can find something that makes sense, cool. But no, you know, she gonna have a primary objective when I don't even say that's her primary objective. My wife's primary objective is something that a lot of men would be appalled at or wouldn't dare ask for. My wife's primary objective would be to have sex with me. Now, a lot of guys ain't gonna say nothing like that, or they're gonna try to spin it into something that don't make sense. Well, see, if you just want a woman for sex, is something wrong with you? No, bro. What are you talking about? If sex ain't one of the primary reasons, why are we getting together in the first place? It ain't gonna be the only reason, but it's gonna be the primary reason. And see, you got to be willing to say stuff like this because women will think they're the prize and think they don't have to do anything. There is no quid pro quo. I'm gonna tell my woman through the door that's gonna be her primary job. We don't even got kids yet, so your primary job is gonna be to have sex with me. That's it. You know, Roger ain't supposed to be out here trying to go out and find other people because I'm supposed to come home and get something off you. It just is what it is. If I got to look for other women, you ain't doing your job right. Now, a lot of guys won't say nothing like that to a woman because, you know, we got all this stuff going on about how she doesn't have to do anything for you. If you're unwilling to have sex with me, you don't even need to be present. I'm just keeping it real. You know, now people can take that how they want it. Some people are like, oh, that's being toxic. No, that's making a deal. Stop looking for me to do stuff for you if I can't get nothing out you. Oh, you wrong. See, you should just be doing stuff for the sake of. You shouldn't be looking to get something. Even God looks to get something. God Almighty, the one I know about, the one I read about, he looked for something too. And if he can look for something, I can too. It's that simple to me. So you don't get to play fairy tales with me. If you ain't got nothing to offer, I don't have nothing to give. And we good. Because you live in a society where you don't need me. And I really want black men to get this, man. We just don't live in a society where women can't work. That's not our society. That's never been our society. We don't come from that. I know if you go far enough in time, you can go backwards and get to a whole other place where women didn't work outside the home. That's not us, y'all. Definitely not FBAs. And heck, as far as I can tell from the blacks who come over here that's not FBA, that ain't been their world either. Okay. I ain't had none of the other foreign blacks tell me about how they come from a society where women didn't work. Ain't nobody told me that. You know? So why pretend? Why pretend? So guess what? My woman's priority, she gonna have sex with me. Now guess what that do, y'all? Sex with me is only while I'm at home. So that give her plenty of time to do other things that's not necessarily her priority, like cooking, cleaning, ironing clothes, you know, making sure that she keep our, personal schedule right. We know we got to be over here for this birthday party. We got to be over there for this particular event. She got plenty of time to do all that. Why? Because I'm working. I'm not having sex with her at that time. I'm working. So she got plenty of time to get everything done that we need to have done. It's that simple. But am I willing to make sure she does not have to go out into the world? Yeah, I'm willing to do that. Now, if she want to do that, if she want to go out into the world and earn money, that's fine. She just still got to have sex with me. And she got to turn the money over to me so I can make sure it's being used properly for the house. Because my woman has to be on my team. Now, I understand this is a touchy part for me. My woman has to be on my team. There would be no misinterpretation on if she's on my team or not. If she going to work, she's going to work to turn money over to me because she wants to see herself as helping me. Now, a lot of y'all, let's say, well, my woman can go out there and she can earn money so she can just do whatever she wants with it. That's fine. And if you financially got it like that, more power to you. Okay? More power to you. There are some guys who are just very rich and women will go to work and she can just use her money as she wants to as a discretionary fund because he just makes so much, her money don't really count. Now, if you in that position, I ain't even mad at you. Do you? Okay? Do you? All right? But my woman, if she has a job, her job is to help me. Okay? Everything she does in the world is to come back and help me and our family. If that's not her priority, she don't need to do it. It's that simple to me. Now, if we just so rich, is she just like, well, Roger, can I just work and use this money as a discretionary fund? Maybe I will agree to that. Maybe I will. We got to be straight though. I'm talking about straight. But before I'm allow something like that to happen. But we can't be anything close to poor or living paycheck to paycheck. And she talking about, I earn money for myself. No, you don't. You do that as a single woman. And a lot of men don't know how to put their foot down with that. And I hear a lot of women saying a lot of crazy stuff about what men's supposed to do. I saw something from, I believe it was Passport OG. I watch a lot of Passport OG content. Shout out to Passport OG. Had something there with a woman talking about she gonna test a man and ask for money for an oil change. Now, I know that don't sound all that bad. But if you asking for money for an oil change, the first question I need to know is why you need money for an oil change? Because if you need money for an oil change, that implies to me that you work. And if you work, that means you get a paycheck. If you get a paycheck, then why aren't you paying for your oil change from your paycheck? See, I can understand a woman asking me for frivolous things. But why are you asking me for things that you need? If you got a man and your man is willing to help you, how come you're not taking care of your needs and leaving the frivolous things to see if your man will get them for you? Because there's a lot of men that want to do stuff for their women.
Women spend money on what thing? Passion, what they want first, and then try to figure out what they need later.
Well, see, that ain't gonna work. You shouldn't be asking me money for no oil change. You should be like, man, I saw this little shirt I want. And so when I say, well, why didn't you grab it? Well, I'm out because I had to pay for this oil change, blah blah. I had to pay for all these different bills she got. She's supposed to say that. Then I'll do something nice for her and get her something she want. But if you didn't get all the stuff you wanted and you come to me because you need an oil change, I mean, shawty, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Take care of your place, man. Get your stuff in order. Okay, get your stuff in order. If you won't pay your bills, that's not a good selling point to me. I'm gonna just say that. The fact that you just won't pay your bills is not a good selling point to me. Okay. Now, and I'm gonna say shout out to Kevin Murray. He said, remember, Roger, she's asking to test him. I don't care what she asking for. The test is she's failing. That's a dumb test. Do I want a woman that makes up a test that's that stupid? Why are you asking me for something you already know you were going to need? You should be asking me for something frivolous if you're going to ask. So she's an idiot, you know? And the thing is, as men, and this ain't me getting on Kevin Murray case, I'm just pointing it out. As men, we keep trying to rationalize stupid stuff. You shouldn't be asking me for an oil change. You should be saying, man, I'm broke because I done paid all my bills and there's some little shirt or some little skirt or something I want. Will you buy that for me? Because I ain't got no money left. I done paid everything. My money funny right now. But I really like this skirt. You know, can you buy it for me? Because I don't want nobody else to get it. See, now I can be like, okay, well, she handling business the way she's supposed to. Let me reward her. Sending me a silly test like that, you're gonna fail that test. I ain't gonna fail the test. You're gonna fail the test because you put a stupid test together. Okay, that's a stupid test. And you know, the woman, and if I remember correctly, she did say she tested guys by doing this, but it's stupid. And if women got time to put stupid stuff like that together, what would she do when she has charge over your children? See, I don't let this stuff slide because I understand whoever I pick will eventually have charge over my children. I'm not going to be in the room at all times. Why do I want a woman who thinks that way in charge of my children? That ain't going to work for me. But we got my main man, Tunnel Runner, then decided to step up. So, Tunnel Runner, you got the flow.
Roger, man. You are so correct. You know, I know you're Roger and you're right, and you've been talking a whole bunch of truth today. So keep up the good work, my brother. And a woman is here to be a service to us. And I just sent my wife out on an assignment because of me, because I feel like I'm the prize. Somebody gave me something, and so I needed for her to return it. And because her limited Spanish, I gave her confidence, limited English, I should say. I had to give her confidence that she could do it. And she followed the orders like a good soldier. She was able to uh, complete the assignment because I'm the leader and she's here to follow me. And money, we talking about math, what a lot of women don't like. Math, men make more money than women, on all colors, all races. And the math is not math when these women think they're the prize. The man is the prize because the math says so. And I'll land right there. Did that come through?
All right. Now I'm gonna say this, and shout out to Tunnel Runner. Maybe he come back. He gone, but maybe he come back. I'm gonna say this, y'all. As a man, you should know something about value. You was young ones too. Now I like to look at the high school age because when it come down to it, that's when you start making more decisions for yourself. Now I want y'all to think about some of your best friends. Okay. The friends you was making, your high school road buddies. All right. Now remember, you go somewhere and y'all would play basketball or football, right? And somebody could pick. Okay. Remember what they picked. Yeah, even though this is high school now, I ain't even talking about the grade school stuff. It's high school, man. Did they pick you just because you was friends? Now I'm gonna say real talk. Eventually you get picked because you was friends. But they pick a 5 to get on the court. Okay, when you get picked, you got picked exactly where you deserve to be picked. Because even though we was friends, we kicking it together, we rock with each other and all that. Either you could hit a J or you couldn't. So even though we was friends, you know, we'll leave you off the team. Why? Because you can't hit a J. It's that simple at the end of the day. You just wasn't no good. Okay? It don't mean we don't like you. It just means you wasn't as good as the other people available. You know, you could even go to the park sometime. You might pick your buddy because y'all at the park and y'all don't know a bunch of other people. But now, if you in that high school where y'all kind of know each other, as great as friends as you was, it might be your senior year, and y'all might have been buddies since freshman year. But guess what? You ain't got no J, so we leaving you off the team. It is what it is, man. If you ain't got nothing to offer, we ain't looking for you. It's that simple. Okay? If you ain't got nothing to offer, and we love each other, we friends, we cool. We go to, we eat at your house, you eat at our house, I call your moms, you call my mom. It's all good. But bro, you can't hit no jump shot. So you're not getting picked. It's that simple at the end of the day, man. It's gonna be some level of quid pro quo. But when women the prize, ain't no level of quid pro quo. It's just honor her, shower her. Don't worry about nothing for yourself. No, I don't live that way. Never have, never will. But I'm gonna slow up and give it to Inspired Truth Broadcast because he done came up. Go ahead, my brother.
All right. I hope everybody's having a magnificent Monday. Salute to the chat. Salute to the panel. I kind of look at this as another extension of a thought terminating cliche. It's like something that just somebody says, and then just everybody's supposed to just kind of go along and rock with it. We have that, plus we have the general society and marketing that's towards kind of gassing up women, like kind of like saying like, okay, you're this, you're that, you're the other, you're superior, you're more than, you're so worthy of this, that, the other. And so all of that gassing up situation kind of leads us into these conflicts where sometimes we'll have to say, nah, you're not necessarily as superior as you think you are. And then that comes off as something that's like hate or something like, oh, why you putting down women, this, that, and the other, when you're really just kind of just course correcting. You're really just kind of saying, well, the reality is actually this, rather than all of this gassing up that we've been doing. And that's really what we're seeing. We're just seeing like thought terminating cliche mixed in with marketing. And there's reasons for that. I mean, there's reasons for it from a sexual access side of it, and then there's a reason for it from a marketing and one money side of it. But one quick question, like I thought I heard you say, like, did you say you want to get down with the same woman every day? That's a heck of a compliment to whatever woman that is.
Why we get married if I can't hit every day?
To the same one. That's a whole lot of that really is a heck of a compliment, because like you're saying, you're not going to be bored after the first week. You're not going to be bored after the first 3 months. You're going to still be interested in every day with the same one.
Yeah, we going to figure it out. We going to figure it out.
Okay.
But if I can't hit her every day, what's the natural thing a man gonna do if he can't get sex from one woman?
He's gonna go to the variety thing, my man.
Exactly. He's gonna start trying to figure out how to get sex from another woman.
I think she should be flattered if you want to do that.
I mean, she should be flattered. I won't do anything at all with her. She should. Because being realistic, when a man wants to do something with a woman, that means he's willing to do stuff for a woman. So it's always an honor that I want to have sex with you. It's just unfortunate for me, and they don't think in those terms. I'm doing you a favor because I'm interested in having sex with you. Because let's keep it real. You can have sex with me, and you'll never want to give me anything. But if I'm having sex with you, 9 times out of 10, I am willing to give you something. If we're going to start doing it on a regular basis, I ain't talking no one night stand stuff. If we're going to have sex on a regular basis, that usually means a man will do something for that woman.
every day with the same woman for life. That's a compliment.
I appreciate you saying that. I do believe it is a compliment, But my thing is, we got to start from there because there's a lot of women who tell a man he can't have sex with no other woman, but ain't trying to give him none. I don't see the point in that. If you want me to be faithful to you, then you better give it up. It's that simple at the end of the day. If men treat their paychecks the way women treat their vagina, we have some different stuff going on out here. Well, yeah, I'm gonna keep going to work and earn all this money, but I ain't paying no bill. You know what? Every time she give me some, I'm gonna give her $100 to put on the bills. How we go? How we gonna keep the house? How we gonna keep an apartment? How we gonna pay car notes? If men start rationing out the money from the job, you earn the business, but you won't give your wife nothing because she ain't gave you none. See, if we ration our stuff out the way they ration their stuff out, a lot of stuff will collapse. And my thing is, since I ain't trying to be no liar, I'm just gonna tell you what your job is through the door. Your job is to give me some. Why are we getting married if you ain't trying to do that?
Yeah.
Especially if you want me to stay, I'm gonna be exclusive to you. Now, I'm not saying any man has to be exclusive, y'all. I just say, tell the woman what you really trying to do. But if she wants you to be exclusive to her, that means she should be willing to give you some all the time. Now I understand if she got a broken leg, she may not be able to do it then. But how you gonna be perfectly healthy and don't want to give me none? But you want me to be exclusive? That don't make no sense. If a married man got blue balls, he married the wrong woman.
That's
That's
very true. And on top of that, it's kind of like a breach of contract in a way. Like if you're trying to say that, okay, you're going to be this man's exclusive sex dealer, and then you're going to say, okay, well, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and just cut you off just arbitrarily and just kind of like break this contract, but then you need to hold up your end of the bargain, then that's exploitation.
It don't sound right to me. It don't sound right to me. And I think this stuff happens because we're a lot of us as men were quiet about it. Okay, we quiet about it. I ain't gonna be quiet about it. I'm be like, man, I do all this stuff and she don't want to give me none. Now, why would I tell that to a bunch of other women? So they can be interested. That's just what it is. I'm gonna tell all your friends that you don't give me none. Even though I pay all these bills. I'm telling every single friend you got. You know what I'm saying? And I bet you there'd be some level of course correction going on.
Another thing about this whole prize thing is that it kind of indicates rarity. If it's like known that, by the way, every other woman also has they also have that same thing too. Like it ain't that ultra rare. Like that's that whole thing that needs to kind of be explained in this whole being the prize thing. It ain't the rarity like it would be portrayed to be.
And I'm gonna say shout out to I'm gonna believe this is Dominic D. Dominic D said you expect a working woman to turn her money over to you. Dominic D, how come you don't? If we're talking about a woman that you're married to, you got a wife that's working and you don't expect her to turn her money over to you? What kind of leader are you if you don't expect your woman to turn her money over to you? Where's your leadership, bro? Where's your purpose? Why do you have a woman wasting money on just any random thing instead of making sure your household is good? You think that's okay? You think your woman should just be working and doing anything with her money and you got kids in the house? You know what I'm saying? Kids need stuff for school. Dinner's got to be made. Groceries got to be bought. But you expect your woman just do anything with her money? Dominic D, why wouldn't you want your woman to turn her money over to you. If she working, is she working to help you or is she working to help somebody else?
This will be the same type of person they'll be talking about uh, you making more than the woman, but then having a joint account.
Well, well,
Cool with
my,
that.
my thing. We don't know him. I don't want to insult the brother. I just want to give him something to think about. It might be his very first time hearing that type of concept, and because this channel does bring a lot of black men around, it's not too hard to assume that might be his very first time hearing a concept like that. But at the end of the day, brother, why is she working if she's not helping you? What's the point? What is the point? But let me turn it over to Santana real quick because he coming in, and we got one more guest coming up after him. Go ahead, Santana.
I'm gonna be real quick. I think this whole conversation just goes back to what do what do women bring to the table. You can say the same thing for men, but it's pretty much what do you bring to the table, and I guess what do we even deem a prize is? Because I guess on one side, um, the perception women have that, oh, if you a provider, whatever. I don't know if they look at that as a prize, but I know we as men we look at it as a prize. So okay, it is what it is. Now, as far as from what they bring to me, they don't really bring anything physical or any. I want to say even nothing intangible, but one thing that I could say they do bring, it's like it's a certain feeling to a man. You know, it's a certain feeling, and that feeling is undescribable. But I guess it goes back to why God said that it ain't good for us to be alone. But what they bring is definitely valuable, and what I deem them a prize off of that, I'm not gonna lie, I would, because I'm looking at men right now, and we not in a good place without them. Even if you're talking about like who leading this country in self deletions, it's black men. Who leading this country in a lot of bogus categories, and we if we not leading, we them almost up there. And I think it's because we don't have that structure with us, that as far as what a family brings. So they a prize in their own right. I don't know if that was when everything went south.
Okay, cool,
My
cool.
nigga, my nigga, my nigga.
All right. So over time, the thought process of the women have become the prize, and I guess in his way, he's somehow attached. The more women have become the prize, the more black men been killing themselves. Interesting dynamic. That's all I'm gonna say. Interesting dynamic.
Well, I only, I only,
Uh,
I only said that because since we separated, black men has been going downhill since.
Hmm.
hey, I get you. They've been the prize more, and black men been killing themselves more. Those two things, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
Okay,
say it's a causation, but there's definitely some level of correlation.
it's
Uh,
definitely is.
so I'm gonna turn it over to the bearer of bad news and let him get his open statement in. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
May the church say amen. Hallelujah. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Um,
Happy Monday, brother. Shout out to you.
we just witnessed a rare occasion. Santana made a point, and that was a good point that he made. But I'm gonna be the bearer of bad news to the people that's like new to the chat, to the channel, and all that. Roger's trying to reprogram men into thinking correctly. Okay, he's trying to reprogram men into thinking correctly. But I have to say, in the black community, as of recent, the black woman is the prize. A prize is something you work hard for, right? Men do all kinds of things to impress a black woman so he can get her on underneath his wing or get to have sex with her. He buys expensive pants, expensive sneakers, pays $70 for a goddamn haircut. He walk around with braids and dreads in his hair. He goes out and buys a 200 try to buy a $200,000 car. He takes them on $400 dates for the first time. That is what you do to something that is a prize. We have always been treating them like prizes, and I think that's the reason why they act the way they have act, and they continue acting the way they act. Everybody else is female. She acts accordingly. You know what I mean? She'll pop out, and the Spanish lady she'll pop out to the construction site with waters for all of them niggas who ain't even her husband, just to give her husband some lunch, and you know what I mean, and make him a little bit more popular with everybody at the job site. The white man wife will come up to the job and bring him some lunch. Like Rogers, what Rogers saying is trying to get black men back on track to understanding what we need to be doing and how we need to be moving. But at this current state that we in, the black woman is the prize to black men.
I want to say well said, and with what Santana just threw out there, look what it's look, look what it's costing us. Okay, look what it's costing us. Okay,
I
Hey,
mean,
look,
but we
Roger,
have to.
Roger. That's why I had to go down south of the border because, like Shaka's saying, the wife bringing you food and trying to take care of you, trying to make sure that you are provided um, some kind of nourishment, some kind of quality, understanding that you are the prize because you are the one who is taking care of the bills.
yeah, and what's the point of having a woman who's the prize when she sees herself as something that doesn't give to anybody, and everybody's supposed to just adorn her? What's the point of a woman like that?
Is we talking about? I mean, okay, that's to me that's a small percentage of women that even move like that.
Really
I wouldn't deem them.
interesting.
I'm saying I wouldn't deem them the prize though if they think like that because the women I think we talking about is women that desire family, and we know how women are way a lot. They give a lot when they have a family. You know what I'm saying? They sacrifice a lot as well, just like us men.
Well, that's why you should be specific on what you're saying. Black women, but other women, like I put in the chat earlier, I don't think Roger read it. I was at work, so I couldn't really pay all the way attention. But I said God made Lilith. Lilith did everything whatever the hell she wanted to do. When he made Eve, he said Eve was supposed to be the helpmate. So everything that come after black women is cool. But you know what I mean. Black women, they just gonna do whatever the hell they want to do. They've been doing it since the creation, since he made us from the dust.
And I'm gonna say now, and I'm not a person that's familiar with the litter part, even though it doesn't make a difference with what I'm finna say right now. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not familiar with the litter character from the Bible, but I am gonna say this: when it comes down to it, man, uh, you talk about black women want to be involved in family. I can't tell when about 75% of them don't have one. It's only about 25% of black women is even married. How you concerned with family, but people don't want to marry you?
And you know what? I think that contribute more to this new modern way of dating. Which is why marriage rates have went down across the board. It ain't even just on our end, but
No,
it's
no,
across the
it's
board.
it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference what happened across the board. If nobody wants to marry you, there's something wrong with you.
I didn't heard
And,
a lot
and,
of. I'm sorry.
and I'm saying we need to just accept the conclusion that if nobody wants to marry you, something wrong with you. We don't want to do that because we want to protect people's feelings. How come the average black man don't want to marry the average black woman? And I'm not saying it ain't black men's intention to
I,
find somebody who's worthy of a wife. What I'm saying is when people meet each other, men
but
keep coming to the conclusion that she's not worth marrying.
and I would say that's something that I think us black men got to work on because we can come to a black woman and say, she's not wife material, but we're still willing to put our seed in her and have her raise our seed.
Not,
Now, how crazy is that?
for the most part, black men have given black women no seed.
But you see now you say now you see when you say for the most part, Roger, that's that bullshit right there.
No, no, I'm saying what the truth is. The general black man won't get a black woman pregnant, and the men and most of the men who've got them pregnant are husbands.
I think that's false. I think a lot of black men have gotten black women pregnant. Their abortion rate is just ridiculous.
Facts. Ain't they leading the country in that?
I,
Or the
I
last couple of
mean,
years at least.
there's no real way to say who did what when it comes to the abortion. We do understand that black women like having abortions. We do get that, but I'm gonna say out of the kids that are alive, most most of the kids that are alive are from some guy who is married to that black woman, or this very small percentage of black men who will have a baby with just a random black woman.
And we got to stop saying that stat that over 50%. I mean, we can use it because I just think we can use it.
No,
But I'm saying even half of men, black men, don't have kids. Again, if a lot of women are, debunking against having kids, that's kind of contribute to it as well. It ain't just black men
no,
not protecting their seed. Now, come on now.
no. The thing is, we don't want to accept reality because we want the woman to have some form of favor. The reason most black men don't have a child is because they ain't found the woman worthy of marriage.
That's cat.
I don't
Most
know, Roger. I
most
think
men
Santana
who
taking
have
his
a
medicine
child
today.
is married.
I
Roger,
think
that's
Santana
cat.
taking his medicine today.
No, bro. I mean, let's be realistic. About 30% of black men are married and have children. Okay, they're married men who have a child. And
Okay.
are there men out here who had a child that's not married? Yes, but they're not the majority at all. And the vast majority don't have no kids. So at the
And
end of the day, black men prefer having children in a marriage.
But wait,
Yeah,
I
but
that's
if
think
why
I
he's
hold on,
stats.
wait,
what he
hold on,
what he's
That's
Roger, real
why
saying is
quick,
a
stats is
real
what
quick,
he's
good.
saying
Roger,
is a what
real
he's
quick,
saying is
Roger,
he's
real
kind
quick.
of
One
correct,
question,
but it can't be proved, Roger. But I
one
do
question,
understand what he's trying to say. Like out of that 50%, if you want to say right, that don't have kids, I would say 20% of them niggas would have kids if it was no such thing as abortion.
Wait,
Yeah, but
wait, what?
that's just throwing stuff out there. It's not actually going to the stats. Like y'all are just kind of like saying,
But you're
"Oh, I
never going to
feel
be able to
like
get
this
that
and I
stat.
feel like that."
No, you're
Like
never
you
going to
still
be able
have
to
to
get.
back it up with actual evidence rather than just what you feel
Look,
like.
all I'm
All
gonna
No,
you
say
you're
gotta
never
is
ask is
gonna
how
you're
many of
never
those
gonna be
guys is
able to
out
get
there
that
having
stat.
unprotected
uh,
sex?
uh, black men use more condoms than anybody.
That's
Okay,
cat. Come on,
that's
man.
not cap. They researched that black men use more protection than any other group of men in the country, which means they don't look to get these women pregnant like that. And I can also say a lot of men who got somebody pregnant, they would have married the woman if she had a baby by him. Most black men are going to marry a woman that he gets a baby by. You know what I'm saying?
So
It's only very even as of recent that black men stop doing that on just fully and out the way, and it just is what it is.
I don't, cause you know what? I be hearing things like black men is the most desired man, in America, whatever, whatever. And you telling me that all other races desire us, and we not
Look,
knocking them down, or even without damn the protection. Cause
the
come on now,
the
that's hard.
the issue ain't about black men getting somebody knocked down. The issue is women see themselves as the prize, so men won't marry them.
No, I'm
Because
telling you,
because
I'm
at
telling.
the no
Okay,
no at the end of the day, black women can get married to men that aren't black. We're not
all
stopping them from being married.
all I'm telling you is that stat of 50% of black men don't got kids. That don't mean that those men ain't out here fucking raw. That just mean that
It
it's a
it
lot of other
means they
things
don't.
coming to the
It
equation.
it means that they've made a decision about that woman.
That's
She's not worthy of being a wife, and she's not worthy of being his child's mother.
so
That's
you
what
think
that
that so you think that's why
bro.
men ain't putting
You no
kids
bro
in
bro
women?
bro. You already established he's already knocking her down. When you're knocking down a woman, you also get to determine is she worthy of marriage and is she worthy to be my child's mother.
And
That come
Santana put
that
it
come
like
with
that.
it.
Santana put it like that. Well, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna say that. But these niggas out here shooting the club up, Roger. But at the end of the day, Santana, this Roger show and Roger right. All right. So there ain't no ain't no ain't no debating you gonna do with Roger. He right. It's
No,
Roger and he right.
he can bring up a point, but I mean the point got to be looked at from a different side. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just like my
The
points
point
are
needs
looked
to
at
have
from different
evidence.
sides. You know.
Y'all remember saying that it was
Hold on. Let me read this, y'all. If I got something on the screen, that does mean I'm trying to read it. So give me a second. Well, at least for the most part, it means I'm trying to read it. Black Rule Strike says it's debatable, Roger, that most of the children come from the concerned black fathers, but the available info says most black fathers are concerned fathers, and those are not the same thing. And I'm gonna say that's very legitimate, because when we examine fathers in America, we found out black fathers were the absolute best. And let's also not forget that black women, well, no, I ain't gonna even say that. I was gonna say they do be having sex with other men, but realistically, if they think they having a baby by any other man that's not a black man, they not gonna abort that child. So I ain't gonna even throw that out. The evidence shows they are not aborting that white man's baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what happens. She could be married. She ain't finna abort that white man's baby. So I ain't gonna even, so I'm gonna say the abortions, I'm sure, if not 100% black men's children, are very close to 100% black men's children. I'm gonna say that. You
And
know,
that's what Santana's trying to say in
exactly.
the
That's
yeah.
no.
exactly my
I'm not. I'm
point.
not. I'm not saying. I never said abortion didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, bro, if women didn't see themselves as a prize, men would marry them. That ain't got nothing to do with abortion.
No, Roger. Your point was that
No, I
those
agree with
black
that
men
part,
are on
Roger.
your point was that those black men are not gonna have kids until they find a woman to settle down with it.
No,
And I told
my
you that's
my
cap.
my point was the women ain't worth it because they're the prize.
And I'm telling you, that don't have nothing to do with a man putting a baby in her, and that's not what
I
those
don't
men.
even know why you talking about babies when the show is literally about women became worthless because they became a prize. What
Well,
does having a baby got to do with her being a prize?
And I could
it's,
agree
it's
with that, Roger.
it's
They
just a
they
rabbit
have become
hole.
worthless.
No, it's not a rabbit hole. At the end of the day, if I want to include babies into her being a prize, a lot of them think they're a prize and they got 2, 3, and 4, 5 kids. And
Well,
2, 3, 4, and 5 babies, and they still
if
think they're
we
a prize.
Roger, if we talking about a prize and what they bring to a relationship, to be honest, they womb is one of those things, or whatever. That's
If
what we
it's
value,
if
right?
it if it's that valuable, how come most of them ain't married?
Uh, I don't know. Again,
Got him with that one.
it's so it's so weird because we as a community don't really value marriage like that. So it's hard to put that strictly on them. You see what I'm saying?
Who don't value marriage? I ain't never seen a black woman turn down a marriage proposal from a white man. I ain't never
I'm
seen that.
talking about men and women. Let's not act like we
I have
devalue
never
marriage in a way.
seen I've never seen a black woman turn down a proposal from a white man. So to me, she does value marriage.
That
She value
rarely ever
marriage a whole lot.
happens.
You
Now,
got a
shout out
point
to
right
Black Rule
there.
Strikes. He says there's no way to prove the extent to which black men are having unprotected sex if the children are being aborted and there is no paternal DNA confirmation in those pregnancies. Yeah, there's no way to prove it. And I do accept that Black Rule, but what I am going to also accept that I have never heard of one black woman getting an abortion from a baby that had a non-black father. I'm gonna admit
You
that.
got to stop
I'm gonna
saying
admit
that.
that.
You got to stop saying that, Raj, because that rarely ever happens that you see. And if a black woman has a kid with an Asian guy or a white guy, and if so, it's like, bro, she in their community at that point. So it's like, when do that really ever happen?
I mean, brother, I said I ain't never heard of it happening. Not one time I've ever heard of it happening. I ain't saying it
No,
did happen. I
no,
just
no,
ain't
no,
never
no,
heard of it.
no. You said that you never heard of them deleting it, or you know what I'm saying. If they
I'm
was to have, they would have
I'm
deleted
saying I've never heard of any black woman get pregnant by any guy who she
it.
doesn't deem as black and
Right.
had an abortion. This any guy. I don't care who he is. He could be the Asian guy from Asia. She could be, he could be the guy that owned the Chinese restaurant three blocks away and around the corner, whatever. If she thinks she pregnant by somebody who ain't black, She ain't aborting that baby. Is what I'm saying.
How
I've
can we
never heard
and
it.
Santana,
how can we
Santana, you
determine that?
gotta hear Santana. You gotta listen to what he's saying. He said he has never heard of it. He's not
Yeah,
saying it never happened. He's just saying him personally has never heard of it.
And I'm a
exactly.
dim. And I'm dim. Okay, we can't. Okay, you know what?
So
But
you
I,
just
I,
you
I
Ain't no
offer
way
still
we can
don't.
people's
look.
I
experience.
don't understand what this got to do with the fact that black women see themselves as a prize.
That's one of the things that I'm saying that they're bringing that they look at and they deem as a prize.
Bro, them being a prize has not helped their marriage rates. That's the point.
That,
You
but
not
no,
you
that's
not
not.
catch
No,
that?
that's not the point. That's not the point.
What's
No,
the
that
show,
is the
brother?
point. That is the point. Them being the prize has not helped their marriage rate, and that reason is because we have put them up on a pedestal so high that they have become high. They didn't just went all out crazy because we put so much effort into impressing a black woman. You know what I mean? That
Also, we so
they
we
think
deem so we
they
deemed
think
them the
that
prize.
yeah, we did that to ourselves.
You the one said you see black women as a prize. What made
Yeah,
you?
nigga, shit.
You did that, brother.
Right,
I ain't never
right.
seen them as a prize. I don't know why you see them as a prize. I don't see the results of them being a prize.
I'm only telling you they're a prize off of what they bring into a relationship.
No, they don't
No, they're
bring
not.
shit to a relationship.
Okay.
That's
And I'm
that's
telling you
exactly
and I'm
what they
telling you how
hold
black
on.
men have I'm telling you how
Santana,
black men have
Santana,
sacrificed because of it.
Santana. What I'm telling you is what they bring to a relationship is exactly why about 75% of them ain't married now
Bro,
because of what they bring to a relationship.
and I'm telling you that can mean a bunch of different things. Again,
It
we gotta
does. It
understand
does mean
we
a bunch of
divide
different things, but it's things that they are.
I'm saying
They're
we
not married because they have poor attitudes. They're not married because they got too many kids. They're not married because they got
okay,
too
quick
much debt.
okay, quick question to everybody on the panel. Have you ever ran into a woman in your life that you deemed a wife that you would marry, or that a woman that you dealt with that you messed up with?
No.
Okay, that's one.
Mm, probably one.
Okay, that's one.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, I ran
Okay,
into one, and she's my wife right now.
okay.
I
Y
have
se puede.
never I've literally never met a black
Hold on, one
woman
more guy.
who didn't say,
I think it was the Brewer Bad News. I think.
No, I
yeah.
said one. I said one.
Yeah, he the
I
one that even gave you a one. Cause I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell
no,
you
only
straight
one I
up.
no.
gave.
It was
I,
no.
I ain't
I actually including me. It was actually I think it was either a tie.
look, I'm saying this. I ain't never met a black woman who I thought was worthy to be a wife.
And I'm
Now
telling you, is that majority of
excluding
black men?
I'm gonna say excluding my relative because I done known them, I'm saying, since we done been connected. So excluding relatives, I ain't never came across a black woman that I thought was worthy of being a wife that didn't already at least have a ring on talking about she's somebody's fiance. I ain't did that once.
Oh well,
Cause
Every
I
Well,
have to say,
single
I have to
I'm
woman.
change my
including.
answer, Roger, because I can't, I didn't. It wasn't a black woman, so I'm with Roger.
Yeah, I'm saying every single woman that I've come across to who gave me that vibe that, no, this is a good one to be a wife. And I hollered at her, she pulled out a ring on the nigga.
Well, I've gotten a few where it's like it looks like it, and then I find out some more information. It's like, nope, hell no.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you
So
saying Roger, you ain't never messed up with a woman that you deemed that you could take something serious with?
he said no, Santana. I mean,
Bro, I
you think
haven't
you
even
asked him
met
in
one.
Spanish?
I've
He ain't
met
gonna
women,
change.
and you know what they told me? I'm already married. And I've had other ones that wasn't married, even though they was young. They literally had a ring on, talking about I got a fiance.
Now I have ran across like two of those. Like actually a chick that I'm like, oh, she fine and go to holler, and she got a fiance or she married. That's like two. But other than that, no, man. Like we have spoiled that this batch of women to the point where they not even valuable no more. To the
Yeah,
point
because
where they
no.
think they valuable. It's like a delusional valuable that they have that we have helped them develop within their mind. And like Rogers, I think Rogers doing the show to try to help black men like yourself understand that
You know what?
they not a prize.
You know what? Excuse me, because I was under the impression that as men, we all had that one woman that got away. You know what I'm saying?
That's just something women tell you. That's
No,
something
no,
women
no,
That's
no,
a
tell
no.
you.
common
I'm talking
trope.
about us men. That's why. See, why y'all go straight to? Okay, it's all good, bro.
No, no, I'm being for real, bro. That's women say stuff like that because they want to protect their
No,
image.
I'm talking. I've heard men say this. I ain't even. I'm not talking about. I'm not even.
He was wrong. He was wrong.
Okay, no problem, no
A, a
problem.
lot,
Damn,
a lot,
Roger.
a lot of black men they have. You know what I'm saying? The bar is so low from what they think they want. I mean, shout out to Compassion and Kindness. I mean, he did something not too long ago where some black man was excited that he got what was like some burnt chicken or something. The lady brought him some burnt chicken, no sides, didn't give him nothing to drink. I'm like, not even a cup of Kool-Aid, man. But he was happy that his queen was giving him something. Now she was a non-black woman, but I'm saying that's what a bar is. That he thought it was enough to put it on the internet, and she did was like drop him off some burnt chicken with no sides and nothing to drink. But
Yeah,
to him, that's rocket.
Roger, Uru, I know you probably we got like one more hour worth of show, but this comment Uru made that just shuts the whole show down, all completely.
All right, let's see what he
He's
say.
dead on. Like that's a straight line drive down the center field home run.
Now, Black Rule Strike says if black women were perceived to be some great prize, they would be getting suitors from all male groups, both within and out of the U.S. And I'm gonna
Uh,
say, there you go.
yeah,
The
that
the
that doesn't say nothing.
no, it does say something,
It
bro.
says
The,
does.
the,
It
the
everything.
thing
does.
is,
It
we
definitely
see them as the prize. Everybody else don't see them that way.
What I would say that I think we see something more in them that other races don't see because obviously they not around them. They not their sisters and they not their mother. They don't see what we see in them. We know they can be. We know what they can be. To me, it's just to the point they didn't got too
San,
comfortable having kids in poverty.
Santana,
That's
you know,
probably would be
San,
one of the only things.
Santana, you know what we see in them that messes us up? We see our penis in them. That's it. Thirsty ass niggas. That's
I,
it.
I mean
All these other
Santana,
guys,
Santana,
they, they work with black women. They went to
Santana.
school
They
with
don't
black
do the
women.
basic things like cooking and cleaning. Some of the basic things. I see brothers go overseas and get like Roger was saying, just get a woman to clean the room for them. They lose their mind because nobody has done that for them. To be nice and gentle with them and sweet. It messes some of these guys up because they have never had these women do these womanly things to them. Some of like little
Yeah.
basic things.
Wait,
A lot of
Santana, how
men,
long have you been married to your black queen, your black prize?
I think Santana's married to a Latina.
God
Yeah,
damn it! How the fuck,
yeah. I'm telling you that.
Santana?
But
Santana,
I,
how
But
the
he
but
fuck?
always,
hold on,
I
wait.
always hear him
I,
talking, but
no,
then he
wait,
always
wait.
Service
No,
announcement,
wait. But
B.
I also have ran into a woman that I deemed, a black woman that I deemed wife, and it didn't work out because of other situations.
nah, now hold on.
All right.
You just told on yourself. Because
yeah.
you just
How?
said
I
you deemed her worthy as a wife,
yeah.
but I thought you was gonna say, but you was already married. You was like, no, it just didn't work
That's
out.
what
That
I
means
thought
she
he was
wasn't no
gonna say.
wife, bro.
And no,
You
it didn't work out because of distance and shit like that.
it didn't work out because you wasn't willing to do whatever was necessary to make her a wife.
Yeah, nah, it ain't always just that simple. It's other things that got to fall into
Was you
play.
with her or not?
Yeah, but it was again,
Okay,
it was a
so
long distance
it
thing.
don't make a difference. The ball was in your court, and you didn't think she was worth it
Yeah, but that's what I'm
to make
saying.
a
Don't
trade.
men. That was
Wait,
my
hold
whole
on, hold
point,
on.
Roger. That was my whole point at first. That don't a men that ran into women that feel like they just got away. That was just one of my situations.
You
The
felt
distance
like she
shouldn't
got
matter if
away.
she was gonna
She
rock with
didn't
you
get
like
away.
that.
Wait,
You
Roger,
had
hold on.
you
Now
had her.
Hold
You
on.
threw it back, bro.
she
Wait,
definitely got away. It was just certain things that kind of came into play. You can't. Sometimes we can't. As men, we think we can control the situation, but sometimes it's out of our control.
hold on, Santana. Doo-doo-doo. Paging Great Black Reset to the front. Please, Great Black Reset to the front. Your assistance is needed in the candy aisle.
Yeah, it's one thing to say I thought a woman was worthy of marriage, and that's why I dealt with her. But when you come to the conclusion that you're gonna let her go, you've come to the determination she's not a wife. Now,
Is that
hopefully,
hold on? Wait, is that's what you saying? So you telling me whenever you get to a point where letting the woman go, or I don't. Sometimes I don't even know if that's how it really goes, because more times than not, we know the woman breaks up with the man.
Then she damn sure ain't no wife.
Well, I don't.
So you didn't mess
That's
that
that's
one up.
y'all. That's y'all opinion.
Bro, no, bro. See, this is my thing is y'all want to turn facts into opinions when it's convenient. The fact is, you was with her. I asked you, was you with her? You said yeah. And now there's things you could have done to secure a marriage with her, and you chose not to do it because you didn't deem she was
I
worthy of it.
chose. It was.
No, no,
I
no, no.
told you it was
Hold
other
on. No,
situations
no,
that came into play.
brother.
It ain't
You
always
chose
just that simple.
you chose not to do it because you did she die?
That's your opinion, right?
No, 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 no. I'm not. No,
She
no.
actually,
I'm not gonna give an opinion. Did she
she,
die?
she actually moved on.
Did she die?
Roger, I just, Roger,
Did she
Roger,
die?
Roger, if
said,
she died, that's a real long distance relationship. If she died,
Yeah,
that's
right,
long distance right there.
yeah,
exactly.
brother. You said she was yours, so you could have did something to make her your wife. Did you propose?
What I said was that
No,
she
no,
was
no,
a
no.
woman.
I'm asking
Listen,
you,
what I'm
did you
saying.
propose?
No,
I
okay,
don't care
okay.
what you
Wait,
say.
no,
I
I
care about
didn't.
the facts.
Wait, no, I didn't. But that was not my point. Was that doesn't mean that I didn't deem her a wife just because I didn't propose.
All right, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think Madonna's a great kisser. I ain't never kissed her, bro.
I just heard somebody said that if she broke up, if a woman broke up with a man, that means she's not a wife. Like this all to me.
No,
This is all
no,
opinions. This
no.
ain't facts.
There is no opinion. You were with her and you didn't propose, bro. That's
Okay,
what that's those
that
are
doesn't mean
facts.
that I didn't deem her a wife.
No, bro. You do stuff because of your own belief system. The reason men don't jump off buildings because we don't believe we can fly. That's why we don't jump off the building. You give a nigga some crack or some meth or something, maybe some heroin. Sometimes he think he can fly and he will jump off a building.
Hey,
It is what it is, bro.
you can bring all of them scenarios up, and I understand that might be true. But I'm telling you, in all situations, you might not have control of where it goes.
Bro, all I know is you had her, you didn't propose.
Okay,
That te- that tells
right.
me
But
what you
that doesn't
believe.
mean that she
No,
wasn't a
no,
wife,
that
Roger.
tells me
That was my first
that
point, Roger.
tells me what you believed of her,
No,
and
that's
you
not
didn't
true.
think she was. Now the thing is,
I'm telling you what I. Huh?
people can change, and maybe the fact that that situation didn't go right could possibly inspire her to be a wife later. People can change, but at the end of the day, bro, you didn't propose, so therefore you didn't deem she was a wife. Nobody gets a wife and don't propose. That don't happen. We propose because we believe she's a wife. But let me turn the mic over to another guest has come up. The great, honorable, distinguished Ho Bathing is real is upon us. Let's let him get the mic. Go ahead, my brother. How you doing?
Salutations, and hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the host. Shout out to the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Um, this nigga is wiping his ass in the sink with a cloth, hoe bathing, and y'all engage in this shit. Then y'all get an STD after popping this hoe, and then you mad at the hoe. Y'all need to be mad with yourselves. Let this nigga rot. At the end of the day, we know the truth. Women think they're the prize and say they're the prize because number one, their mother refused to let them have a father in their life, right? Because that's what daddy's supposed to be. You're supposed to be daddy's little princess, daddy's little queen, daddy's prize. And women are emotional creatures. So when you don't get that growing up, you're going to look for that. When you don't get that as a child, you're going to look for that when you grow up, right? You're going to look for that constant need. You're going to try to fulfill it somewhere. And so all this is being a prize is a dog whistle to say that I never got non-sexual attention, non-sexual love, and I need that. And so in my relationship, I need to be the prize. I need someone to take care of me like a father would take care of their little girl, because my mom didn't love me enough to give me a father. That's the bottom line. And all this extra shit about poverty, man, that shit don't even make sense. I don't even know if this nigga speaking English right now. But all I know, this nigga in the sink, wiping his ass off before you go meet another trick. So I'll land my plan there.
Bro,
All right, real
at
quick,
least make a point. You saying
real
gay
quick.
shit.
Hold on. Shout out to you know what? He changed his name. Shout out to God Ken King. Shout out to the God Ken King. He says black men take, I'm gonna say Dookie, right? And then tell the world she's precious. And that's what a lot of us do way too much, which is what I was trying to illustrate with what I remember from that thing that Compassion Callus put on his channel about the lady bringing like some burnt chicken over or whatever, and he put it on the internet, so it meant something to him. I ain't trying to put the man down because it meant something to him, but what I'm saying is we ain't looking for the greatest of women. We're just looking for people to be decent. All she brought him was some burnt chicken and didn't even get the man no Kool-Aid. I don't even know what to say when a woman won't even give you Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Not pop,
Yeah,
not juice. She
that's
won't even give you
disrespectful.
Kool-Aid. You know?
That's disrespectful. I mean, how you not been cool? Goddamn.
and maybe she ain't know no better because she was a
even
little.
even the crackhead can get Kool Aid. Even the
saying,
crackhead.
that was the first thing I thought. Like, bro, not even a cup of Kool-Aid. Like, I ain't had Kool-Aid in years, but not even a Kool-Aid. Come on. And
Oh
shout out
yeah.
to Tunnel Runner. Tunnel Runner says, Tunnel Runner. Shout out to Tunnel Runner. He putting it down for the Highlander tax. Drop that $5.57. Shout out to him for the Trail Bentley tax. But man, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. That's that Highlander tax. Okay, he got it again, y'all. He got it again. Appreciate you, brother. We got my main man I ain't talked to in a good while. We got Dale Riggs Worst in the building. What's good, my brother?
Man, I'm about to get in a headache listen to some of this stuff, man.
I can
What I'm,
understand. I can
what I'm
understand.
what I'm trying to figure out is if Roger making sense, because at least to me, he making plenty sense. If these women were the prize that they say they was, these motherfuckers be picked, they be chose. But if you got the majority of them walking around here ain't chose, how the fuck do you spin that? Am I missing something?
You making sense to me, brother. That's all I
I
can
mean,
say.
if I'm missing something, I mean, hey, hopefully somebody on here can explain it to me. And the crazy part about it is, I got my daddy and my uncle sitting in the next room, and they stick their head because I'm off. I'm on a little vacation right now, so that's why you see me. But my old man and his brother, they they in the next room. They don't pop their heads, and they married. Like I said, my daddy is 78. My dad and my mom been married 40 years. All his brothers, my uncle who here. Well, let me see. Uncle Bo is 76. He been married about 30. So out of all, you know what I'm saying, all the brothers and everybody done chose somebody. So they be listening in, they be like, what the hell is this going on? What these newfangled folks on? Because they talk like that. What these newfangled folks on? And I be trying to explain to them, but they just scratch their head because it don't make sense to them either.
You landed?
Yeah, I'm through, man. I'm through. I'm sorry
Oh.
about that.
Well, one thing you gotta tell them is that if they did the stuff to be picked, then they would get peer pressured by the other folks to saying that, oh, they're a pick me. That's coming into play too.
Well, my whole thinking is my brother is at the end of the day. Now, what you just said is absolutely correct. You basically have to be. I don't know if you want to call it shamed or convinced into it, but you got to remember, Big Mama dead. The real Big Mamas is dead. So hey, listen, you got the new Big Mamas is 30, 40, and they down in Magic City. You know what I'm saying? Dancing. You know what I'm saying? With their daughters trying to compete. You know what I'm saying? For the same dudes.
Well,
So who teaches? Who teaches?
well, let me say shout out to your elders, okay? Shout out to the elders who listening, and they can't figure out how they prizes either, and yet they ain't married.
Well, I want to. I
You
want
know?
to say something. I want to also say something. Even if she's picked, even if she is uh even if she has suitors from all types of men, like white women, right? White women literally have suitors from all types of men: Asian, black, white, Indian, whatever, right? Even that hoe ain't the prize, right? It just means she's desired, right? The man is the prize because at the end of the day, mothers and grandmothers of decent societies will say, "Where your husband at? Why you ain't got no man yet? Why you need to have children, etc., etc., etc." Because society knows that a unmarried woman is the biggest cost to society. That is not a prize. Even the government right now is changing laws so that it becomes easier for men to get married, or if they do get married, they don't lose their whole life because it's not the prize. Old women, old women are a drag on society.
They all burden, man.
Right? They're a drag on society because at least when women have male sons, at least she's not a drag on the society because the male sons will typically pick up the slack. Even if she was married and then her husband deceased, the male sons will pick up the slack as far as financial burdens and all of those things. The daughter will probably like be the emotional whatever, but the like finances and with stuff that really matters, sons will pick it up. That's the reason why men are the prize is because people want sons. There you go. That shuts it down. Even women, they want sons.
Hey, Roger, a bunch of men were sent back across the border, back to their home countries. They could have married a black woman to stay here, and they refused to do it. They rather go back home, even though they wanted to stay. They didn't want to marry some of these black women.
Hey,
They want
Roger. Hey, let me
they wanted the American dream, but wouldn't marry a black woman to have one. That's what you're saying, bro?
Yes, sir.
Look, go ahead,
can I say something off topic?
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
yeah, hot sauce. I think ain't you from Philly? You should be happy as a pig and shit. You got your boy LeBron up there.
LeBron. Well, first of all,
Yeah,
this shows.
got you ain't got to defend that on there. We can
No,
talk about that
I
on
just
there.
want to say this. I just want to say this, right? See, this just shows that even sports management don't know how to make goddamn good decisions. Picking holes, trying to win championships. LeBron is not the prize, nigga.
Damn.
All right. Back to the subject of the show. Back to the subject. See, this is the thing, y'all. See, I don't do this so we can quote unquote put women down. The thing is, we got to make sense of what we're talking about. It's not. You know what? Black Rudin said something. Let me read his comment. He said, "America has distorted the perceived value of black women by stacking the deck against black men." Now, I'm gonna agree with that 100%. I'm gonna agree with that 100%. The thing is this ain't about putting women down. This is about what makes sense. If you're a prize and I have to, worship you because you are the prize, then what use are you to me? You're not an actual God. I worship God but God can bless me. You see what I'm saying? He can open doors that I couldn't open myself. There's a lot of things God can do that I couldn't do for myself. Worshiping him makes sense. But you want me to worship a person who can't even do anything for me? How, if you think you're a prize, you are in a mindset that helping me is not a part of your agenda. What was the reason? Now me looking at it from a religious point, what was the reason women were created? To be a help me. So you're not doing the literal thing you were created to do. So why would I want to be bothered with you? Now, we take it from a non-religious standpoint. You believe you the prize. Again, you're not going to help me as a man. So why would I want you around me? You're literally just a bill. And I'm going to say literally because a lot of women who get with men don't want to have sex with them. It's something very bad going on where you got these women who are marrying men and believe that she don't have to have sex with the guy. Or people talking about, we have sex like once or twice a month. What?
But even if you're having sex every day, you're paying for that shit. So it's still a bill. You're still paying for that shit.
I mean, it's definitely going to be a bill. And then when you hear a brother like me say something about if she should be turning her check over to you if she's working, people act like it's a foreign concept. Why would you want somebody who's supposed to be on your side working to have other people be in front of you?
You know what? You know what? I think I made that point a long time ago. Where I said that I think females need to start giving niggas all their money to. I guess. Well, it depends on if this
Well,
is the guy you want. You have to show him that you are 100% in this. And
well,
if
this why I should say it. This why I should say it because you make it sound like you make
nah,
it sound like a bad idea. The thing is, if a woman is with a man and she's trying to flourish with a man, and they determine it is good for her to work outside the home, that money has to come back into the home and advance the home. It's not about giving something to a nigga.
well,
It's
I'm
about
talking about when you first
are we
meet a
gonna
woman.
are we going to advance the home? That's
Hell
what it's
no.
about.
Hell no, she ain't doing that. She ain't doing that, Roger. They tell you all the time, your money is our money, my money is my money, and
Exactly.
we know statistically, that's why, that's the number one reason why that they stack, even though it's not true, even though black men do out earn black women, and black women do not outpace us in any metric that matters. That's why they're overrepresented in government jobs, because they know if you make a woman independent, she doesn't invest in the community, she doesn't invest in her family, she only invests in her happiness and her individuality. Right? When men get money, they want to settle down, they want to get married, they invest in the community. Women don't do that. They just don't.
That no, I you know what? And again, like I said, I made that point a long time ago about women giving men money, and the women they deem would be a prize to them. Because again, if money is this thing that gave women this inflated ego, again, I'm all about manipulation. I told y'all I'm all into manipulating, you know what I'm saying, females. I did it. So again, if I'm speaking for the female, they need to a certain degree manipulate the man. Hold on, I guess yeah, manipulate the man by giving away power what they deem is money.
Well, I don't know what point you were trying to make there, but I'm gonna say this.
I just made
Uh,
it.
I'm gonna say again, I don't know what point you was trying to make there, but when it comes down to it, bro, I ain't gotta manipulate no woman. This what the deal is. If you want me to look out for you, you're gonna be a part of my program. Some women got their own programs and they want men to join their program. My thing is, hey, if you got your own program, stay single or get a man that's willing to, adhere to your program. Knock yourself out. I don't care. But when it comes to me, no, you got jobs when it comes to me. If you earn money, that money will be turned over to make sure it's a blessing to my household, not no individual. Okay. And that's just what it is. And guess what? I'm gonna have shoes before anybody else has shoes because my shoes bring money for the family so everybody can get shoes. If people don't know I'm at the top, you don't get to be there. But black men ain't been trained to be that way. We've been trained to she gotta be right, she is the prize. And I'm not mad, y'all. They got me with it too. They got me with it too. When I was young, and you know what I'm saying, gentlemen asked us, me and my friends, if ain't nobody got no shoes, who supposed to get shoes first? And we said the baby. You got a man, woman, and a baby. Who get the shoes first? Ain't nobody got no shoes. We said the baby because we was thinking we supposed to be protectors and things like that. So if the baby ain't got no shoes, we supposed to get the baby the shoes first so the baby be okay. And he was like, y'all some idiots. Now he said it. Now this is a guy who actually loves it, so he could talk to a certain kind of way, but he didn't say it quite like this. But basically the point was y'all some idiots. Y'all would spend your last on a baby who can't help nobody, then go get some shoes yourself so you can take care of everybody. And he talking about how silly we was for even thinking like that. Now he was making a point to us, and he could say that because two of the guys he was talking to was his own actual son, and the other guys he treated like sons. So at the end of the day, he's showing us how to be men in different ways. See, luckily for me, I had people who love me, and I could get around men, not just my father, but other men who would love me too, and they would teach us stuff. At the end of the day, I have to be the prize because I got to take care of the family. If
In
I
other
fall, all of them could fall.
in other words, the pilot has to put his oxygen mask on first.
Okay, let me
And
ask you a quick. Can I ask you a question real quick, Roger? By what you just said, okay. If the woman makes more money and can provide, does that mean she the prize?
if she ain't, is she gonna take care of the family?
Yeah.
What woman has done that?
I'm no. I'm just putting this as an example. Let's just say
You are
I'm
making
using
an
this as an
example.
example. Just go
Hold
down
on,
this
hold
road
on,
with me.
brother. You are making an example of something I have said many times. We don't have one documented case in history that a black woman would take care of a black man till he died. We don't have one documented case.
Okay,
But
okay. Just
so
go
let's
down. I'm
talk
not.
about this
We can't
thing that
say
ain't
that it never.
never existed. Go
Okay, we
ahead.
can't. Okay, we can't say
No,
that it
No,
never
we can
happened.
say it because we can say it because it's the truth. We don't
We
have a
don't.
documented case where a
We
woman
don't.
took care of a man until he died. We
We.
that case does not exist.
that's not true. That's not true. But anyway,
Well, I'm gonna say find the case, but neither here nor there.
well,
Go ahead and make your point. Make
You
the
said.
point, same time.
Oh. Well, again, we can't. We can't say. Of course, we ain't got nothing really to go off of that can prove that.
No.
But
We have something. It's called case where a woman did it. And so until we got that, that's we got to stand on what we know. Now go ahead and make your point.
can I say something really quickly? Because here's the thing: in a healthy relationship, you're supposed to take care of each other. I have seen women, older generation, like the baby boomers, that have took care of their husbands in sickness to the end of their days, and I've seen that with my own eyes. That black women took care of their like um men who had Alzheimer's, men who were invalids, et cetera, take care and died in their sleep next to them. I've seen that with my own
and
eyes.
of course, that has happened,
But
Roger. But
but
Roger, I'm going off of your
hold
point.
fast, hold fast. You're talking about something where people had a quid pro quo. They had a life together, and then
Yeah,
we're
well, I'm
talking about
supposed to take care of each other.
the woman didn't abandon him toward the end of his life. Now I'm saying there's no case where a woman who works and provides for the man and the family and take care of that man to the day
And
he died.
and that's the point.
Nah,
And that's why I'm trying to get
hold
you.
on. Let me wait. Okay, I've not the whole time, but when he was sick and unable to work, she did it until he died. She
Oh,
worked.
that's what she's supposed to do. When you have a life together, somebody gonna die
I,
first.
but yeah,
There's many
I've
men
seen that.
who's taking care of their wife when she had to die. There's many women who
Yeah.
took care of their husband when he was gonna die. That does happen. But what I'm saying is a woman who's gonna take the provider position
Right,
and
Roger.
and until that man dies. We don't know of a case of that.
And I'm telling you, okay, we can't prove that, but
No. We're
let's
not
just say,
talking about what we can. If it exists, we would know about it, or somebody got to come up with it. So until somebody comes up with the example, we're leaning on the fact that it didn't happen. We're
I
gonna
mean,
let truth. We're gonna
you
let
can't
truth
even.
change. We're gonna let
that's
truth change the narrative, not our opinion change the narrative.
I'm saying
But
so you
make
can.
your point regardless, though. Forget about all that. Just make the point you was trying to make.
I can't even make the point unless you want to. Can you take this walk with me real quick?
Go ahead, bro.
I'm
But
only saying.
hold on. Before you walk, let me read this. Shout out to Black Who Strikes. He says, ironically, black women have lots of government jobs because of the valor of black men. The contribution of black men during World War II compelled Truman and Eisenhower to desegregate federal employment. Shout out to you, Black Uru, for that. That's real talk right there. That's very real talk, And shout out to the brothers who participated in World War II. Real talk as well. All right, go ahead, brother.
Okay, let's just say if you ran into a woman that can show.
Hold fast. Black Uru said something else. Let me get this in real quick before you can go, because you said we finna take a walk. I'm gonna listen to this walk. Black Rule Strike says Roger point is you don't know of any instance where a woman started her life with a man expecting to take care of him and then actually did such until either of them died. That's what he was saying. Until either of
Actually,
them died.
we do have a
Again, it's no way we can prove it. So it's like,
No, bro. The thing is, it is what it is until someone proves otherwise.
Well, that I told you that hoe from Harvard that's married that nigga with no legs. She's taking care of that nigga.
He hasn't died yet. He hasn't died yet. And I've said myself
right now.
I said myself, this will probably change in the future because Nicki Minaj will probably be the first case that we know about from a large perspective where she gonna end up taking care of a dude until he dies.
And Cardi B.
I don't know about Cardi B, but I'm gonna say Nicki Minaj will probably be the first case.
Nicki and that Olympic girl who married that white dude with no legs. She's
Well,
on that
I
list.
mean,
She's on that list.
More than likely, you're right because black women ain't finna divorce no white man. So I'll do that. But at the end of the day, we still ain't got there yet. We talking about stuff that might happen in the future. But go ahead and make your point, Santana.
Okay. Now let's say if you meet this woman and she tells you that when her and her husband got married, she out earned him, so they decided he was gonna do the house husband thing. You know what I'm saying? And she worked, she provided, she helped put the kids through school, whatever, and all that. And they live happily after retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Would you deem that woman as the prize?
I mean, you could say that. That would make sense to say, just like you would say it for a man. That would make sense.
Okay, so you don't necessarily look at the man as the prize. You look at the provider role as the prize.
No. I look at a prize as a prize. A prize is something that provides something.
Okay, so again, you're saying that men are not the prize. It's the role of provider as the prize.
No. I'm saying men are the prize because they do the role.
Okay, let's say if a man not do,
no man got to do the role.
All right, and if he does,
the star of the team is the prize, nigga. So Kobe Bryant is the prize.
But that's not what he's saying, bro. His first point. That's
what I'm saying because at the end of the day, you can ask women because I've said time and time again. I do my own surveys. I go out and I talk to people and I ask them questions. So far, 100% of women say they refuse to take care of a man. So far, 100%. I back plenty, and all of them say, "No, I ain't taking care of no man."
Yep. Especially no black man.
So Santana, I mean that's a good point.
They say that they use that word, especially no nigga. That's out their mouth. I'm not taking care of no man. Are you crazy? Especially a nigga. So they emphasize us.
They do say that. And so this is the thing, Santana. I get where you're coming from. I don't make people do stuff. I make me do stuff. It ain't got nothing to do with me that black women ain't at the position where they want to actually take on the breadwinner role and do the same type of stuff men had to do back in the day when they were considered breadwinner, when it was a males are considered breadwinner. And keep in mind, black women been working basically the whole time. These women ain't never been exposed to no lifestyle where men worked and they didn't. They ain't been exposed to that. Not on no vast majority standpoint.
And you know what? That's why I just
simply about their choice.
Right. And you know what? That's why I took you down a hypothetical. Because I can't, in reality, it ain't really, it can't be proven. So that's why I used the hypothetical. But at first, you deem the provider role as the prize. Then now towards the end, you're just pretty much trying to say the man is so if you take that provider role away from that man, is he still a prize? To be honest, I just heard you say
he's still the prize because if something goes bump in the night, it's gonna be go down there
okay,
and see what
so hold on. This goes back to Roger Point then.
It's more than just being a protector. That's provider. That's part of it. Protection is the other thing. Leadership is the other thing. And at the end of the day, the reality is women don't want the job.
Okay, so what you're saying now is that is it takes a little bit more,
No.
and that,
It's not about what I'm saying. It's about the thing exists. The women don't want to do the thing.
and I'm
I
telling you, if
can't
they
see
do
you
do
as
that thing,
I
Roger,
can't, bro. I
Roger,
cannot see you as a hero if you refuse to save
okay,
people.
Roger,
Roger,
I understand where you're coming from,
Roger.
Roger.
Can I can I can I
Yeah,
can I get a, can I
yeah,
get in on
yeah. I was gonna
Santana
say
Report
we gotta
Live,
let
please?
we
Man,
gotta let Great Black
pause.
Reset get in. I'm gonna let him in. But this is the thing, bro. I cannot see you as a hero when you refuse to save people. It's that simple to me. Go ahead, Great Black Reset.
Hey man, I want to welcome everybody to Santana Report Live.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. I can't go on the walk because my legs tired. My head hurt. I can't walk with you, man. Women, black women in particular, they will take care of a white man. They'll take care of a white man if he's broke, busted, disgusted. They'll
Yep.
pick him up if he's homeless, and they'll take care of him. They'll help him fix his
Yep.
credit. He can sit on the couch. He can play video games. They will not do it for black men. They will not do it. And we've bought into this idea. When I say we, black men as a whole, we bought into this ideal that money makes you a man because we got that information from a woman, and we believe it. I don't care if I make $10 an hour. I'm still a man. I'm still a leader. It don't matter how much money you make. Money does not does not qualify you to be a man.
No, but
So it
does it
don't matter
qualify
how
you to
much
be a
money a woman
prize?
makes. She'll
Opening
never
speech,
be
bro.
qualified
Opening
to be a
speech.
man. Never. I wish we would stop as black men trying to measure men by the amount of money that they make. You got plenty of Hispanic men that are standing outside of Home Depot and take whatever they get and go home and get all kinds of cooperation from their women. Money don't make you a man. Money don't qualify you to be a man. Leadership, leadership abilities and capabilities qualifies you. How you know you qualified? That woman submitted to you. Period. I don't care if she's a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist. I don't care if she worked for NASA. If she submitted to you, you her leader.
Can we
We were
say,
built to be leaders, and they were built to be supportive. What black women have done is turn everything on its head, and now they're saying they want a man that's gonna support them.
well,
They
can we
got
say,
penis envy, and they want to be men. It ain't gonna never work. This is why our communities are all jacked up as a whole. It's because they think they're supposed to be men. And I'm gonna land my plane there. I'm tired,
he
boss.
I
he
want
didn't
to
say
speak.
nothing
Hold on,
about the
hold on,
point.
Santana, hold on. Bro, you are too old to be having teenage questions. What about this? What about that? Bro, you're fucking 30. Bro, you're too old for this. Respectfully, man. Respectfully.
Okay,
The point
respectfully,
is
respectfully.
the point is this. The point is this.
Oh my
At
God.
the end of the day, man, the person that contribute most to society is the prize. And men, historically, since the inception of society, always produce more to society than anybody else. And that's
Okay,
just the bottom line. That's just the
okay,
bottom line.
okay. Can I
And
go?
forth, going back and forth doesn't change that, bro. It
Okay, can
doesn't.
I go? Can I go back to the great brewer? He said that making money don't make you a
You
man.
can't
Whatever
put a
he
dollar amount on being a man.
right, and
You can't,
ain't
because
nobody
we
said.
provide way more than just money.
Okay, did nobody say that? But let me ask you a
We
question.
provide too much. We built this
Okay,
society.
nobody
Black men
said that.
literally
That's not the
built the
point.
society that we have. We
You
built the
off topic.
infrastructure that's here.
You off
We
topic.
provide
We talking about
everything
a
that's
prize.
necessary to keep this country and this world running. Women will never be the prize because they're not willing to do what it takes to keep this country running.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
we talking about a prize inside. I think I would say a relationship. I don't know. You talking about a whole
Do you know
country?
what prize? Do you know that? Can you look up the definition of a prize?
Okay, if we're talking about in a relationship, bro, it ain't got nothing to do with what the hell you doing outside of
I'll
the
be
damn
back. My
relationship. I
mic's
would
messing
assume
up. I'll be back.
Bro, you need to educate yourself on word definitions because I think you don't know what prize means.
to a relationship, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all talking about
You
some shit
don't.
you don't.
You clearly don't, bro. You asking a question a minute. That's what children do. That's like 8-year-olds in the back. What about this? What about that? That's what children do, bro. You have not stopped asking questions since for 2 hours.
my whole point was, does uh if we're only talking about the provider role is the prize, if a woman
Did you
moves,
just hear this
cause
man say?
wait, bro, wait, bro,
Just
cause
heard this
again,
man.
this was Roger made this point damn near about a good 30 minutes ago when I first heard him say it. That's why I switched the scenario to what if the woman was
But
in that
but
role?
he,
Would she
but
be the prize?
he explained it, bro. He explained it. You're trying to hold.
He know he went. Whoa, wait. He
Listen,
went back
no,
on.
no,
Wait,
no,
hold
no,
on,
no,
sir.
no,
He,
no. You
sir.
hold on. You
He
hold
went
on.
back on his
No,
point. And
you
sir,
hold
bro,
on. You
No,
listen. Come
hold on.
on, bro.
No,
This shit
no,
Santana,
you
weird.
hold
I
on.
didn't
You
go back
hold
on the
on.
point. I
I,
literally
Bro, at the
literally
end of
pointed
the
out the
day,
fact that you're talking about something that we don't have a document case of, and women have so far 100% agreed that they
and
will
that's
not
why
do it.
I took you on a
bro,
hypothetical.
the point is that Roger explained to you
Can
multiple
I
times.
talk to
I
Roger?
heard. No, I'm talking
Okay.
to you now. No, no,
No,
no.
no, he got
I'm
privilege. Let him speak.
so the point is I've heard Roger explain it over and over and over. I heard Inspire explain it over and over. Sims explained it over and over, and then Reset explained it again. They're all saying the same things, right? Bro, you just refuse to hear it. That's on you.
I don't know what you're
That's on
talking about, bro. I'm only
of
going off of what
course you don't
Roger
know.
said. Listen, I'm only going off of what Roger said.
And he
Roger
explained
said,
it.
listen. Roger said 30
No,
minutes ago, the man is the prize because he's providing. So when I switch the
No,
roles
I didn't
around,
even
I,
say
I
just because
I
he's
keep getting cut
providing.
off. I keep getting cut
No, no,
off.
I'm saying that. Well, now you kind of throwing. I didn't
yeah,
say just
yeah,
because he
yeah.
provided. That's inclusive, but it is
Right.
inclusive. But go ahead.
Because he said
Roger,
he
you
hold on, Santana.
come
He
on, bro.
clearly said no. He clearly said take care of. He clearly said
And
take
that's
care of.
why I switched the roles around, bro. Is you listening?
You're not listening to yourself
How the fuck
because
am I?
you said
Oh my
he
lord!
said
I'm saying this.
provider. You're saying he said provider, and I'm saying, bro, he said take care of, meaning encompassing more than just a dollar amount.
And do you
Then Black
understand? I
and
switched the roles around in my hypothetical.
Yeah, but
Great Reset
Santana,
explained it to you
Santana,
further,
peep it, right?
bro.
If she's
You
paying for
just want to
everything and
be
she's supporting
ignorant.
you, is she going to protect you? Is she going to get up and fight the robber? No. Is she leading you? No. She's just paying all your bills. Therefore, she's not the prize.
They did not give you a one word definition. That is my point. They did not give you one word definition, and they explained it to you in detail.
Yeah. And when you get all that included, she still don't want the job. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Then
on
what are
her.
you
She don't
talking
want the
about?
job. Okay. Now shout out to Black Who's Strike. He says the man is the standard bearer, the flagship of every family and home. Whatever money the woman earns does not equate that. She cannot purchase that position. The man is only the prize. Is the only prize that matters. And shout out to Black Root for that. And bro, at the end of the day, I can't make nobody do nothing unless I'm gonna physically force them to do something. It's not that women live in a society. If you live in America, you do not live in a society where a woman couldn't take on a lot of stuff that men take on. They just don't want to. I don't understand why you trying to force them in a position that they don't want to take.
Bro, yeah, man. Like, yeah, damn. Damn. Like, damn.
They don't want the job, bro. It's just what it is. You know, look. I would take any job in order to avoid being homeless. The one job I have avoided in my life, though, and this is no disrespect to anybody that is cool with that job, because one of my best friends is cool with the job. I've never wanted to be a janitor. Why? Because I know how nasty people get in public, and I have to deal with that on a regular basis. Every day I go to work, I got to deal with how nasty people get in public facilities. So I've never wanted to be a janitor. It's not that I'm too good to clean up. It's not even that I'm too good to clean up behind people. It's just that people, unfortunately, do a lot of super nasty stuff in public areas. And that's what I don't like. But at the end of the day, bro, you can't make me take the job. Why are you pushing? I don't want the job. Look, I'm here applying for at your company. You got 38 jobs available. I tell you, bro, I'm not doing the janitor job. Now, either we gonna talk about 37 other positions, or we ain't talking about nothing. I don't want the job. You're not gonna make me be a janitor. It just is what it is. I'm gonna do anything before I be a janitor. So talk to me about one of these 37 other positions, or we can just stop talking. And the thing that you're doing is you're trying to create this scenario where women are going to do something they're just not willing to do. They ain't willing. I ask them regularly, would you take care of a man? They all say no. Ain't one woman said yes yet. And I've been asking them this for a good 5 years consistently.
Okay.
None, bro. Zero. They don't even bring up hypotheticals. It's just instant no.
And the crazy thing about all these conversations about the prize and taking care of, the crazy thing is, man, a healthy, functional relationship is we're supposed to take care of each other. The things I'm not good at, you're supposed to take care of. And the things that you're not good at, I'm supposed to fill in the gap. We're supposed to take care of each other. I take care of the finances, you take care of the health. I take care of the leadership, you take care of the home and design. We're supposed to be working together. That's the crazy part. You're supposed to be looking out for me because you love me. Just like I look out for you. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But we're supposed to be taking care of each other. Because I see my grandmother and when my grandfather fell ill, yes, my grandfather took care of my grandmother. But when he fell ill, he didn't go to no home, he didn't go to no whatever. She took care of him, and he died in his sleep next to her. We're supposed to be taking care of each other.
Yeah, sadly, I don't have a pretty story like that, but I'll share what it is in the back chat.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Because I'm interested. You know. And the thing is, and Santana, I don't want to be like against you. I just want to understand, what are you fighting for, bro? They don't want to be the prize. They have no interest in it. So why do you care so much?
Well, my whole point was first off, okay. To me, it kind of seems like the prize role is subjective in a way. As far as what they looking for, and as far as what we looking for. So my whole point was that if we put a woman in our role, does that make her the prize? That was my whole point. I wasn't even saying the man wasn't the prize.
No,
Oh,
this is the
oh,
thing, Santana. Women are in a country where they could take that role on. There are women who make
Right.
more than men. They can go find them one who they make more of, and then take care of him. They can provide medical benefits. They can
But
provide dental. They
but you
can
just said
provide the home. They can
you even
provide the car.
you
They
even
can do
said on a
all.
high level. You even said on a high level, Nicki Minaj out here doing it. So you don't think his bitches out here lower
Well,
than her doing it?
Nicki Minaj is in a stuck position because she's a celebrity and she done went back to her high school sweetheart, who happens to have one of the worst records you can have as far as criminality goes, and more than likely they're stuck. She's not going, because she's a celebrity. She'll probably never divorce him,
No, but
and
even
that's not
that,
even
Roger.
guaranteed. Who knows what she's gonna do when she's 60? She might throw that nigga out.
And
Nah,
I'm
but
gonna say
Roger,
couples
even
divorce
that,
all the time.
even if Nicki Minaj and her husband is walking down the street and somebody runs up on them, Nicki Minaj is not doing all the fighting.
Which is true.
That's why I
So
said
it's not
it's
about
more than
money.
just money. Your
Thank you.
measurement of being a man is not just money.
Which is also true. And my point was
Not
just,
that.
even when the woman has the money, she don't want to do the work.
Money's just a contributing factor of how you take care of your family, how you take care of your children. It's a tool. But being a man ain't got nothing to do with money, man.
And that's real talk.
Ain't got
I'm
nothing to
just
do with it.
highlighting the fact that even when women are in the position where they can do the provide, they don't want the job. Women ain't out here looking for, now black women look for men to control. So I would grant you're gonna have a portion of black women who want a man that they control. But when they start talking about getting married, They want the same thing the other women want. Somebody who got more than them.
I think whoever keeps saying that money don't make a man, you got to understand that's not the point. It's the money make the man the prize.
No, it's not that money make the man the prize. What I'm pointing out to you is, at the end of the day, the women don't want to do the work that comes with being the prize. But because we treat them like a prize and we glorify them so much, it don't do nothing but hurt us. What are we getting out of the idea that women are the prize? What do we get out of that? That's what I'm asking, bro. As men, what are we getting because women think they're the prize? How has that helped us?
Shit, I'm not gonna lie to you. Being without them definitely hurting us. So,
Which basically you're saying I can't answer the question. That's what you're doing right now. You're going into I can't answer your question. I just don't want to seem like I can't answer your question.
okay,
I'm asking seriously, how is it helping men for women to think they're the prize?
Okay, yeah, that wasn't my point. I ain't had a question. My bad. I'm
It's the
sorry.
point of the whole show, though. It is the point of the whole show.
And how it's helping me?
How's it helping men for women to think that they're the prize? Because I can tell you how it helps women when we think we're the prize.
I can't answer that.
Well, let's hold fast for a second. Let me read this by Blackwood Strikes, and then let's get Bronk in here. Blackwood Strikes says, it's a mistake to play this who is paying the bills game. What functional society you know that survives and thrives with women doing most of the work and pay most of the bills? Now, one that I can name, I think Blackwood makes a very good point on that one, because I don't know any particular society that's like that. But we got Bronk up here, so Bronk, you got the mic, my brother.
I'm just here for the round table, man.
Look at this. Here for the round table. You think you? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's all good, brother. It's all good. Now the round tables be lit. Round tables be lit. And I'm gonna say this, bro. Now, when men think they the prize, what happens with us when it comes to society? Well, hold on. Before you say go into that, Black Roo said something else. He says being without fathers is the biggest problem most black men and boys. Well, the biggest problem for most young black men and boys, and it's black women who are the source of that problem. Hey, well said, and that's real talk. That's real talk. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this. Well, you know, Bad Black Game is coming. Bad Black Game, you coming for the round table, or you coming for to get it in before we go off air?
No, I'm just coming up here because I want to.
Bro, you have to make a choice. It's the round table.
No, you put me in the background. I'm good. I'm just messing. I know it's 1 o'clock. I'm just messing.
It's all good. It's all good.
Niggas be too cool.
I'm gonna close it out because we had 2 hours and 52 minutes already, so we about to hit the end of the show anyway. Now, when men were the prize, you know, how does that help women? Well, how do men operate when they believe they're the prize? They want to show off that they can do their stuff just as good as anybody else can. So they want to get their woman in a nice house. They want their woman driving in a nice car. They want their woman, dressing in the nice threads. They want their children to do well in school. Heck, if they got the money, they'll put their child in a private school. All kinds of great stuff happen for the black family as long as men think they're the prize. When men think they're the prize, they believe their family deserves respect at all times. They are willing to go places to fight for their family. So at the end of the day, it helps everybody. But I'm going to say this. Let's do some closing statements, and I'm going to start on Inspired Truth Broadcast in, and we'll work our way down. Any closing statement you want to make, brother?
Oh, shoot. All I'm saying is, like, the prize is not a bill. If you want something to call yourself a prize, don't be no bill. I'm going to move on from there. I'm just going to leave it like that. Y'all have a great day.
Go ahead, Santana.
Yeah, it's kind of like a domino effect, you know. If black men the prize, you know, who gave birth to them? You know, black women. We all the prize. Actually, you know, I think the union is the prize, if you ask me. So it's the union that's the prize. Ain't no single person no prize.
Okay, I mean that's better than what you've been saying. All right, the bearer of bad news, you got it.
Thank you, Santana, for that last part. I think you absolutely correct for the first time in your life. The union is the prize. But black men, we got to start understanding who we are and what we are and get this thing back on board, you know, because you can't blame a kid for coming out of the candy store with cavities if you wasn't in there watching them. And I think that's what we let black women do. They out here with a whole bunch of cavities, and we just got to start taking their ass to the dentist and get it back on track. You are the prize. And I'll end it right there.
All right, then it's gonna fall into well, we're gonna skip you, let you get the last word. At least before me. Bronx, what you got? Any last words you want to make?
Nah, bro, nah, not right now. I'll just listen in the background.
Okay. Time to run is on you. Any last thing you want to get out?
Yeah, black man, respect yourself, look in the mirror, and protect yourself at all times. Peace.
All right. And Bad Black Gamer came for the after show, so I ain't gonna even bother with him. I'm gonna give it to the one, the only, the highly esteemed. Whole bathing is real. Any last thing you want to say?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Ron. So on this show today, unfortunately, we saw Ho take a bath at the sink, and that shit made no sense. But at the end of the day, we needed to see it. We need to see how hoes operate. And so, black men, you got to cut them out, man. You got to cut it out. And at the end of the day, black men, unfortunately, you are the prize in 2026. Unfortunately, 2026 ain't much you get for being the prize. So I would say just take care of yourself, have your standards, have your boundaries, and remember, we're supposed to be taking care of one another. And find a woman with a servant spirit. And I'll leave it there.
Well said, brother. Well said. Now just gonna say, look, when it all comes down to it, you don't need other people's permission to be in the right position. Put yourself in the right position. If that causes a problem between you and that woman, just let her go. It's that simple. Just let her go. It ain't that serious at the end of the day. You know, it ain't gonna be worth it to you. You know, the type of arguments you're gonna have to have with somebody because she don't see you the way you're supposed to be seen, it's not gonna be worth it. It's way too much trouble. Why do that to yourself? Don't voluntarily go to prison, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Don't voluntarily go. It's one thing if you really believe you got to do something and it may you may end up in prison, but don't just be asking to go to prison. That don't do you no good. And I'm gonna say shout out to my main man, Trail Bentley, representing as he always does. Hashtag long live habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag hey Hydra. Shout out to you, brother. Great to see you in the chat. Great to see you represent. And that's real talk. And y'all, if we want something, we got to go after what we want. It's that simple at the end of the day. We may not all times get what we want, but if you didn't go after it, you can't trip that it didn't come around. Okay? At least go after what you want. I'm not looking for a woman that I can, work hard to spend money on so she can disrespect me. I ain't looking for that. Okay? I'm looking for a woman who's willing to help me. And shout out to Usual Business. He got the last cash up end of the day. He say the matriarchy is strong in this one. Well, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. And y'all, there is some news for the people who be backstage with us. So I'm gonna say, come get your news. There is some news for some of the folks who hang out backstage with you. I'm gonna start off by announcing that. So pop your head in for a second so I can tell you what's good. Okay, and I'll holler at y'all later. Been a great show. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right, and I'm out.